sad. I know it's over, but life goes on, and this old world will keep on a-turning. Let's just be glad we had some time to spend together. There's no need to watch the bridges that were burning. Lay your head upon my pillow. Hold your warm and tender body close to mine. Hear the whisper of the raindrops blowing soft against the window, and make believe you love me one more time for the good time.
Memories. There's a swag of them today. They'll keep coming back as long as I live. They'll never go away. 200 miles we've travelled this morning to join the world of sport mob. We're glad to be here, but we're sad to be here. It's a bittersweet sort of a job. Where is he? He should be handy. Come on, where are you? Lovable Sandy.
Thank you, Uncle, and welcome one and all to World of Sport. Episode number 1355, and we certainly hope that you can stay with us. I'm sure you will for the next 3 hours, the final 3 hours of a program that has become part of many families throughout Melbourne for, as I say, 1355 episodes. We are, naturally enough, going to be doing a little reminiscing throughout the program today. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of nostalgia, but as one era ends, another begins, and on that point I hope that you can stay with us in future times, because Sports World is going to be hopefully part of your family starting next Sunday 9 o'clock through until midday. But more on that later. Settle back, relax, put the kids out and the cat and just enjoy the program. Let's start off as we normally do by having a look at some of the sporting highlights of the week. What a start to the week it was for Wally Masur, getting a taste of victory in Davis Cup.
Wally held serve for 5-4, then poured the pressure on.
Oh, excellent tennis from Masur. Even Zivijinovic applauding that point.
Wally broke him for the vital first set, 8-6.
Oh, that'll come cheer Australia.
The Australian had an answer to everything RSI dished out, confident with 2 sets under his belt.
Oh, superb.
Wally served it out, 6-1.
That's it.
While in harness racing, bag limits bad luck was My Lightning Blues good luck.
Lightning Blue in front from Pale-Face Bubbles. Skimmer was wide around, but Lightning Blues won the Inter-Dominion Grand Final in a Typhono, Pale-Face Bubble and Sunset Candios.
The win took My Lightning Blues' career earnings to almost $500,000. And to complete the triumph, his mile rate of 1:59.4 seconds was a new world record for 2,600 metres.
Well, if professional golfer Don Pooley was short of a bob, he needn't worry after this shot. A cool $1 million. Straight in the cup.
The effort resulted in Pooley receiving a cheque for a cool $500,000, while the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital will also receive $500,000. Incidentally, it was Pooley's first hole-in-one on the tour.
Finally, finally, back home, it's been decided on the new surface for the tennis centre, and Rebound Ace has won the contract ahead of the artificial grass.
Making the announcement, Tennis Australia Executive Director Colin MacDonald was confident the right choice had been made.
It was a surface that we believed was fine for the future of the Australian Open Championships, that it would meet Australia's obligations to conduct one of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments of the world. We believe that it's a surface in which we can develop our junior players, and we believe it's also a surface which the public who will be hiring the courts at the National Tennis Centre will like. It meets all the requirements.
Racing back home now, the Kilmore Cup, and In the Field takes it out on Wednesday.
Getting up on the fence, but In the Field on the outside, raced up with All Spades, and they grabbed a risker now with 150 to go, and Hall riding hard on In the Field, got it clear now of All Spades, and the Country getting up on the rail, but it's In the Field racing away, and In the Field takes the cup by 2 lengths.
While in Sheffield Shield cricket, the Vicks pile on the runs, finally declaring at 8 for 404.
Victoria cannot afford to draw this game. They must win to take the final, and that meant keeping the scoreboard ticking over.
That's 4, in fact, to Dottermaid.
Tony Dottermaid moved to 42 with this shot, and at the same time brought up Victoria's 300. The Vicks also had their fair share of luck in the first session. Here Valletta drops a sharp one from Dottermaid. Skipper Ray Bright swung lustily, scoring his highest score for the season before finally falling to Vic Marks.
That's got to be close. That's out. LBW.
Even Merv Hughes was getting into the action with the bat. This shot brings up the Vicks 350. In fact, Merv Hughes could well be looking for a rise in the batting order after this delightful cut.
Well, very delicate from Hughes.
After lunch, Bat continued to dominate ball as Tony Dottermaid and Merv Hughes brought up the 400 and their 50 partnership.
And that brings up the Victorian 400.
A short time later, Ray Bright declared Victoria 8 for 404 and milestones for Dottermaid and Hughes. Dottermaid not out 81 and Merv Hughes a battling 33.
And let's hope that the Victorians can get amongst the wickets there at the Wacker Ground in Perth today and certainly try and take out the Sheffield Shield. One good thing about today, it's sort of as though the football season hasn't started. We are going to have that football atmosphere because our studio already is crowded with people who have joined us to reminisce and go through the last 3 hours of World of Sport, and throughout the program you're going to be meeting many old faces, so stay with us. If you won Tats Lotto, obviously you won't be with us, but here are the numbers you required. 8, 10, 14, 29, 35, 38, and the supplementaries 21 and 34, whilst in Super 66 the combination there was 4, 4, 1, 5, 4 and 9. We'll take our first break on World of Sport and be back with some special racing news from Jack Elliott.
Some irons have a shot of steam button, and that's about as far as they go. Other irons are light for easy manoeuvrability, but that's about their limit. Some irons have a non-stick surface, and that's where they get stuck, while others have a fine spray dampener and stop about there. It took Cambrook to think of the cordless iron, and Meyer to offer it to you at a special price at all stores.
Down through the decades, Worrells of Toorak have been authorized to sell and service Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz from Worrells of Toorak.
Antipodes Festival, the Greek-Australian experience.
A spectacular combination of modern and youthful Greek and Australian culture. Dance, drama, music and exhibitions. Traditional Greek panegyria and sports. And at the exhibition buildings, an important exhibition of art and ancient artifacts from Greece, the cultural capital of Europe.
The Antipodes Festival, something for all ages and all Australians. Full programs at any bus office. Festival Antipodes. Κάτι για όλες τις ηλικίες και όλους τους Αυστραλούς πολίτες.
And the question is, which restaurants offer fabulous main courses for lunch or dinner from just $6.25 up to a maximum of $10.50? Not sure? Well, here are some clues. They're open from midday to midnight 7 days a week, look something like this, and sound something like this. Give up? Island Trader, 415 Warrigal Road, Burwood, and 299 Burwood Highway, East Burwood. Island Trader, the taste of the islands.
Welcome back. It's possibly fair to say that some of Australasia's best racehorses will be engaged next week in the Rawson Stakes. There's certainly no problem with the horses, but Jack Elliott, there does appear to be a problem with the jockeys.
A very big problem, Sandy. Yesterday at Rose Hill, Lance O'Sullivan, the champion New Zealand jockey, was suspended until April 1, which means that he will not be riding our Waverley Star in the Rawson Stakes next Saturday, and he will not be riding the champion filly Tidal Light the following week in the Rose Hill Guineas. O'Sullivan was suspended until April 1 for his ride on Tidal Light. He probably used a little bit of rough tactics down at the turn into the straight. He's seen the film and he will not appeal. Racing Minister, Mr Russ Hinds, telephoned me this morning from Brisbane to tell me that Mick Dittman will ride our Waverley Star in the Rawson Stakes, which now means the 3 stars have 3 different jockeys. Dittman will be on our Waverley Star, Shane Dye will be on Bone Crusher, and Ron Quinton on At Talek. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Jack. And of course, Jack will be returning a little bit later on in the program with his final turf comment. Let's now turn our attention to cricket, because the Victorians have certainly done extremely well, finally declaring at 8 for 404 after losing 2 early wickets, and then at one stage being 4 for 161. But I guess what everyone in the cricket world's talking about, and we've already had a call, Stacky, from Merv Hughes, he wants videotape of that delightful cut that he played.
Yes, and we'll certainly be able to give it to him, Tony, but the only problem is when you see a fellow like Merv Hughes pick up 30 runs like he did yesterday and play some very fine shots, he just indicates how good that wicket is over in Perth, and that's going to be the thing that the Victorians might find hard to beat. Certainly the Victorians so far have played aggressively. They won the toss, they batted, and they fought back on several occasions, but unfortunately it was that final session yesterday when Western Australia, none for 127, Marsh and Valletta leading the way, and the Vics are going to find it pretty hard to win outright over there. We've got some terrific highlights of the first couple of days' play. Let's have a look at those highlights.
The visitors weren't looking too flash early on.
Ray Bright showed the confidence in his batsmen by winning the toss and electing to bat. Michael Quinn getting out early, first wicket falling at 12. A good inside edge catch by Zura. Dave Watmore started off well, but then exposed that leg stump. We've seen that a couple of times this year. Watmore just going across just that little bit too far and getting the leg stump tilted back. But Jamie Siddons, who's had a fine year for Victoria, made over 700 runs, took the game right up to the Western Australians. There were 2 out for that hook shot, but he continued to play his shots, and at lunch the Victorians were about 2 for 90 odd. Some fine catching by the Western Australians, but on a couple of occasions the easy ones got through, as that one from Paul Hibbert's bat just showed. Zura picking up the wicket of Siddons just after lunch from the bowling of Capes. Certainly he was the most impressive, and Paul Hibbert, who batted pretty well, getting run out, and Paul Hibbert playing his last Shield match over there. I don't know how many times I've seen Dasher get run out in similar fashion to that. But then Simon O'Donnell, who's also made over 700 runs this year and took his tally to just over 800 with his fine 80-odd. And at stumps on the first day, Victoria 6 for 243, but certainly they played extremely well yesterday. Michael Dimatina caught brilliantly in the gully by Jeff Marsh. Look at the way he dived across to his left, plucked it inches from the ground. But then Tony Dodder-Maid, Ray Bright and Merv Hughes combined well to give the Victorians a tally of 8 declared for 404. Tony Dodder-Maid going on to his highest innings, 81. A couple of let-offs, Ray Bright hitting straight down the ground. It was good to see the Victorian aggression before Ray Bright was given out by umpire Robin Baylash, and that certainly would have impressed him. There's no love lost there between the two. And Merv Hughes, as Sandy Roberts mentioned, coming to the wicket, and he would have enjoyed this. This would have been one of the great moments, and look at that delicate shot there from Merv Hughes.
After lunch, bats continued to dominate ball as Tony Dodder-Maid and Merv Hughes.
Dodder-Maid going on his merry way until Ray Bright decided to declare.
A short time later, Ray Bright
a good fighting effort by the Vics. 8 for 404 declared. Tony Dodder-Maid reaching his highest score, and certainly Merv Hughes there. Let's hope he didn't use up too much energy. So let's have a look at the scores as they stand at stumps. 8 for 404 declared Victoria. O'Donnell 80. Fine innings that. Siddons 54, Tony Dodder-Maid 81 not out, and Peter Capes, certainly the most impressive bowler of the Western Australians. A fine effort by the left-hander. 3 left-handers in their side, but he certainly eclipsed Reid and Matthews yesterday. In Western Australia, well, they've proved that they're the top dog this year. None for 127. A great partnership that by Valletta, and Marsh not out 70. So it's up to the Victorians today to try and break through. The game is not halfway over, so a lot can happen. This match has the ingredients of following the test match, which was played over there not so long ago, which was a real run feast over there. But let's hope the Victorians can break through early today and get right back into this game.
God bless me. When I'm old and grey, Lou. Want me to promise something, fella? Promise you won't stay, Lou. Well, give me a good reason. For I hate you so. What's my name? Dirty Boy.
Hurry to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get 10 pieces of chicken for just $9.50. Or 2 chicken fillet burgers for just $3.50.
The Monster Double Deal. It's enough to scare your pants off.
For once, Frederick, you're right. Antipodes Festival, the Greek-Australian experience.
A spectacular combination of modern and youthful Greek and Australian culture. Dance, drama, music and exhibitions. Traditional Greek panegyria and sports. And at the exhibition buildings, an important exhibition of art and ancient artifacts from Greece, the cultural capital of Europe.
The Antipodes Festival, something for all ages and all Australians. Full programs at any bus office. Φεστιβάλ Αντίποδες. Κάτι για όλες τις ηλικίες και όλους τους Αυστραλούς πολίτες.
Come on, come on, come on.
Her name is Susan.
Everybody I know is desperate except you.
She's a woman's ideal.
You are Susan, aren't you?
A man's mystery.
Your wife is at Paris with the grease ball.
And a killer's target.
Maybe you were the killer.
For the fun, for the thrills, for the intrigue, for the first time on television, Madonna's acclaimed movie debut, Desperately Seeking Susan. Tonight, 8:30, only on 7.
Valentine, the natural choice in cheese, present the roller cycling derby.
And today on World of Sport, the ride-off for 3rd and 4th place in the Valentine Roller Cycling Championships between Tony Wood on the red roller and Stephen Pate on the yellow roller. First of all, let's have a look at Tony Wood, 23 years of age, from Bayswater. He's a postman, Victorian amateur champion, the stage winner of the tour and raced in Europe, and a young rider with a lot of promise. His opponent today on the yellow roller, 23 years of age, Stephen Pate from East St Kilda. Stephen Pate is a professional cyclist by occupation. He has a great list of credits, including the 86 Australian Amateur Champion of Champions, the 87 Australian Professional Kieran Sprint 16 kilometre and Champion of Champions, and he should be Australia's next world champion. Stephen Pate on the yellow roller, Tony Wood on the red roller. The ride-off for 3rd and 4th place in the Valentine Roller Cycling Championships. Back with the action after this break.
We all know that Flemington's the home of the world-famous Melbourne Cup. Flemington, the function centre, also world-famous. The Victoria Racing Club and Dennis Catering jointly offer a superb function centre at Flemington Racecourse. Vast car parking areas, beautiful surroundings with function rooms catering for every need. The Crown Club restaurant with Melbourne's most spectacular view, day or night, and the much larger Duke of Norfolk. Functions manager at Fabulous Flemington, Joan Calwick. You can ring her on 267-6144.
Later on today in World of Sport, of course, we have the final, but this is the ride-off for 3rd and 4th place. A most important race coming up between Tony Wood on the red roller, Stephen Pate on the yellow roller. 4 laps of the board under the control of Ross Forster.
You ready, boys?
And Pate, away to a good start, took the early lead from Wood, but there's little between them after they've travelled 110 metres. In fact, Wood's picked the pedals up now, and away he goes to lead by 20 metres after 3/4 of a lap. Wood going out very hard. There you see the indicators, and there you see Tony Wood after 1 lap. He leads by 30 metres, but Stephen Pate is a very consistent rider. He normally comes home pretty strongly. Can Tony Wood hold him out? They're coming up to get 2 laps to go, and it's Tony Wood in front by about 40 metres at the moment. Now Pate starting to wobble about on the rollers a bit with 2 to go. Can he issue the challenge? Wood's holding his advantage. They've got a lap and a half to go. Pate slowly edging up towards Tony Wood now, who's gone out very hard. Can Stephen Pate overcome the leeway? 1 circuit left to go and Tony Wood in front. Stephen Pate is closing the gap though. It's 25 metres now, the ride-off for 3rd and 4th. Wood in front, coming up to the half-lap mark. Pate's overhauling him. There's only 25 metres between them. Wood's getting the staggers. Pate's coming after him. It's going to be a grandstand finish. Wood's holding onto his lead. Pate trying to overtake him, but Tony Wood's hung on. And a great ride-off for third and fourth place. Well, the roller cycling, we've seen many memorable races here on World of Sport, but none better than that. Tony Wood on the red roller, taking third place from Stephen Pate. And let's get the details now with Lou Richards.
Thanks, Pete. Ross, that was a great race. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a big crowd today. What a big round of applause for the boys. Fantastic effort. Well done, Tony. You started to slow up a bit at the finish, and a good effort, Stephen. Now, you've got an earring on there. And look, that might have weighed you down, but I thought you were Ted Whitten for a start. He wears all those diamonds and things. It was a great effort, and of course, what was the time?
1:05, Lou.
1:05. It's not the fastest we've had, but it was a fine effort, just the same. Well, good luck to you in the final. Of course, you've got all these Valentine's goodies at the boat. That's the vintage tasty cheese. Can you hold that? You're not out of breath? And also the roasted almonds. We're going to give Valentine's a big plugger today. Valentine's roasted peanuts and their entertainments. And don't forget, we'll be back later on for the final.
Hi, I'm very sad that this is the last World of Sport. Just imagine it. Melbourne wins the grand final in 1987. We won't be able to boast about it on World of Sport on Channel 7. Well, that's life. Stay tuned for more. Plenty more to come.
Thailand and Asia. Call Thai's Royal Orchid Holidays or your travel agent.
Well, here's the best footy product I've seen in years. These club car badges are absolutely magnificent. The chrome-plated brass frame is fully weatherproof and the design really glitters. Specially hidden bolt mountings are supplied and they can easily be fixed on your car grille or they look great alongside your rear car number. Available from your club or selected retailers shortly, or write or call International Emblem Company, Post Office Box 78, Parkville 3052, and the phone number to ring is 075503558, and of course, trade inquiries are very welcome.
Now there's a new way to completely furnish your home. The 10% deposit Home Helper finance packages from the Fuzzy Furniture Fella. Furnish the bedroom with this brown mahogany setting by Eastgate at 1/10 of the price. Get this magnificent Hilton dining setting for only a 10% deposit. Furnish the lounge with this real leather Lincoln setting and pay the balance over 10 months, interest-free. The Autumn Home Helper finance packages at the Fussy Furniture Fellas warehouses, Clayton, East Keilor and Thomastown.
Tonight.
I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
Wayne Hamilton.
Yes.
Wayne Hayes.
How can you be so cold? Don't you think he's been punished enough?
Not enough for a grieving family.
Set foot in that cemetery and I'm warning you. You might end up staying there.
Death stalks sons and daughters.
Hello, Debbie. It's your friend again.
7:30 tonight. Who's dead and who's not?
Susie.
Sons and Daughters on 7.
Welcome back to the final edition of World of Sport. You know, when we think of Easter here in Victoria, obviously we think of the Stawell Gift. Well, there's been a spanner thrown into the works this year because we're getting people from all over the world contesting it, including one sensational sprinter from America by the name of Valerie Brisco Hooks. And she's putting her talents up against the men. Let's take this report on Valerie from Mark O'Brien.
And from the start, it's a good start for Brisco Hooks and also for Clayette and Lean.
Valerie Brisco Hooks is one of the best runners ever produced in the United States. The 26-year-old won gold medals at the Los Angeles Olympics in the 200 metres, 400 metres and 4x400 relay.
It made it really special because it was here in LA and all my family was there, and it was a dream and a hope that, you know, something that I dreamed ever since I began running. And for me to win with my family watching and my child and everybody, I think it was really special.
Now, Valerie Brisco Hooks is set for another first. She's going to become the first woman ever to run in Australia's most prestigious professional race, the 120-metre Stawell Gift. This year will be the 109th running of the race, and this female is ready to give the men a run for their money.
because they're telling me, you know, that you can't do this, you can't beat me, you can't do this, and make them feel better, and it also makes me feel better because I like people telling me what I can't do, which makes me feel better and makes me prove to them that I can beat them.
The Stawell Gift is run on a handicap system, which Valerie expects will be to her advantage.
If you're giving me a head start, I'm sure not going to lose it.
The race carries a first prize of nearly $23,000, but Valerie's amateur status is not jeopardised. If she wins any money, it will go into a trust fund, which she can use upon her retirement from sport. Valerie Brisco Hooks is training 5 days a week to get ready for the Easter race. Her coach of 8 years, Bob Kersey, is using the same techniques which captured the Olympic gold. Wearing a vest filled with weight, she runs in a harness attached to rubber cords held by Kersey. The device, which restrains her, improves her stamina.
How good is she? Best in the world. I think that Valerie can do anything that she wants to in 100, 200, and 400. She has everything. She has a stride frequency. That means she's quick. She's got very quick feet. She's very strong. She's fast. She's endurable. And so all the qualities is there. I think her weakness is just getting the consistency of training, and that's where my disciplinarian job comes in, to make sure that she gets all the work done.
Valerie Brisco Hooks' career began after the tragic death of one of her brothers during a training run at high school.
And he got shot on the track, so they had dedicated the track after him, so the track was named in his name, Robert Brisco. So they just assumed that all the Briscoes ran track, and me being the only girl, they just assumed that I ran, so they automatically put me on the team.
Coach Bob Kersey says his training program will have Valerie about 95% fit when she arrives in Australia only a few days before the race. He says his champion has an excellent chance of winning.
It's a great challenge on our part, and so not only would we like to be the first women to compete in it, we like to be the first. She would like to be the first woman to win it. So maybe we can get everything at once.
Valerie will travel to Australia with her manager, but will leave her 5-year-old son at home.
Well, there are something like 300 challenges for this year's Stawell Gift. The big question is, has Valerie got what it takes to beat the men? And let's take this report now on that from Alex First.
The Stawell Gift has a long and illustrious history. Dating back to 1877, this year sees the 106th running of the gift and the first open competition, giving all amateurs and professionals, men and women, a chance. The entry of the first woman Olympic champion Valerie Brisco Hooks has been widely publicised. But does she stand a realistic chance of victory, being the only woman in an initial field of 298? Neil King has coached 3 Stawell Gift winners in the last 5 years, including last year's victor Glenn Chapman. King himself ran second in Australia's most prestigious foot race in 1976. He says the odds are stacked against Brisco Hooks, with competitors being allocated handicaps between 0, or scratch as it's known, and 10 metres, with a race run over 120 metres.
Actually, I hate to say it, but I don't think that Valerie's going to feature in the final. But it's easy for me to state that without explaining the circumstances. The Stawell Gift's going to be won or lost on handicaps, and the whole system of handicapping has evolved around men. And so when an athlete first starts to participate in professional athletics, they start on a fairly average handicap, and I don't think that we'll see Valerie on a very generous handicap. The handicappers' hands are tied, because when a new athlete or a novice athlete, and although Valerie's not a novice, she's a new athlete, enters the sport, she's going to be placed on a fairly average handicap, and it would be a situation where if she wasn't, there'd be almost grounds for some sort of case against sexual discrimination.
John Dynan won the Stawell Gift in 1980. Chris Perry achieved the same feat in 1982. Both are now trained by Neil King, and they agree with his assessment of Brisco Hooks.
Valerie Brisco Hooks will be one of the greatest female athletes in the world, but over 100 metres, there are so many guys who would beat her for, from a great margin. So depending on her handicap, if she got the limit and she was in her Olympic form, I think she might make the final, but I doubt she'd be in her Olympic form at this stage of the game. I doubt she'd get the limit mark, so I don't think she's much of a threat at all.
So you really don't think she'll even make the final?
I don't think she will, no.
What about yourself, Chris?
No, I don't think she will make the final, because she'll probably be sitting off the novice mark, which is the mark allocated to new runners of about 5.5 metres. Off that mark, I don't think she'll be competitive enough to reach the final. It's a 5-man final, a 5-person final. and she would need nearly 10 metres to be competitive.
Does this suggest that any really good male runner can beat the best female runner in the world?
Yeah, I'd say the best female runner in the world would be Evelyn Ashford, over 100 metres. And she'd possibly do it in about 10.85, and most club runners could do that. So the best female athlete in the world would not be competitive at all with male runners.
Only 2 runners have won 2 Stawell Gifts. The rules of handicapping work against multiple wins, with competitors being penalised for good performances. Both Dynan and Perry will be competing again this year. Dynan for the 8th time and Perry for the 3rd. They still have vivid memories of their greatest moments.
Well, I remember jogging down to the start about a minute or so before the race started, and I just felt so sick, I felt so heavy, and I remember thinking, what the hell am I doing here? If there's any one place I don't want to be, it's right here, right now. And the next minute I knew I was on the blocks and off. And I can't remember anything about the race. It's a total wipeout. I just can't picture anything at all. But I think it's such a nervous experience that you feel sick and you feel bad, you feel crook, and you don't want to be there. But as soon as the guy says walk to your marks, you sort of just click straight into a running sort of frame of mind. So as far as the race goes, I just can't remember anything about it anymore.
Before I started, I was trying to wake up because I'd fallen asleep between the semi and the final. So I was a little bit still half asleep. And but it's the same sort of experience where you're being a novice runner or your first big outlet into senior ranks. The butterflies and the nerves were playing a great part, and I remember I think I left my legs back in the room. Just there's no feeling whatsoever.
Those 10 or so seconds, is it a slow motion experience?
I found it so. I found that it was. It seemed to take forever to get going, and the 12 seconds. It's actually 12 seconds, but it just seems to take forever.
But back to Brisco Hooks, and Supercoach Neil King can see a time when the rules of the race are rewritten to give women a realistic chance of winning.
It's something that I think could start something better for the future. There may have to be changes in the rules now that we have a female in the race, and more females may wish to enter, and we may have to change the rules so there are different handicaps for women than men.
And would he like to see women giving men a run for their money?
Oh, without doubt, I think that that's the novelty of professional athletics. The great equaliser is handicaps, and I'd like to see it where women and men are running in the same heats and running in the same semis and running in the same final.
That report from Alex First, and it certainly does add a new dimension to the Stawell Gift, which incidentally, continuing with our tradition of covering local sport, Channel 7 cameras will be there at Stawell, so I hope you can stay with us. Peter Donegan bringing you all the action. Well, here's another man that's seen a lot of action over the years. Hello, Ron.
I'm just going past.
Well, I'm glad you popped in. I'm glad you popped in because you've been associated with World of Sport for a long, long time. And what's it meant particularly to the world of football?
I'll tell you what it's meant to me in football is that if I'd known this was going to happen, that World of Sport was going to finish, I wouldn't have retired from coaching. It would have kept me in the game. Like, for coaches to have to come in here and face the questioning of Lou and Bobby Davis and Jack Dyer in particular. Later on, they've got the smarties like Bartlett and very intelligent people.
That new young brigade.
It was okay then, but in the old days, you had to come in and, fair dinkum, the week wasn't worthwhile pursuing him. It almost felt like necking yourself every Sunday to come in here. No, it really was terrific, and I think the way people have turned up. And here's another old man in football.
There's no show without punch.
I'm glad you're here.
I think a special thank you to Channel 7 for a lot of players that couldn't make it today.
Yep.
And also a lot of coaches and football, the football public in general, and also from Adidas for our association with you over the years. Sandy's been fantastic, and along with Ron, I think it's done a tremendous amount for football, not just in Victoria but in Australia. We're all sorry to see it go.
You know, it hasn't changed the technical coverage as far as that's concerned, because I have to hold this up like this for you two.
Well, you're a mic man all the time, so...
Thank you very much, Ted.
It was always organised chaos, wasn't it?
Hasn't changed today either, Ron.
Fantastic. No, I really think it is very sad, and Melbourne people will now be seeing what it means to be dominated by Sydney.
Well,
there you are, I've said it.
You've said it, and I think you
for everybody too, Ron. As always, you always like to have the last say.
The first say?
The first say.
Okay, off you go. One era has ended. Thank you, Ted, for slapping me around, and also Ron. Isn't it great that they could all pop in like this? Ron Barassi and Ted Whitten joining us on World of Sport, and as they said, one era ends, another starts next week at 9 o'clock, so I hope you can join us for that. We'll take a break, but of course we'll be talking with more of the oldies, if I can use that term, throughout the program.
When it's knock-off time for busy hands, it's time for lightning. With its new citrus formula, it lifts off dirt and grime in a flash, leaving your hands sparkling clean. Treat your hands to Lightning Hand Cleaner and you'll notice the difference straight away.
Thailand and Asia. Call Thai's Royal Orchid Holidays or your travel agent for a brochure.
Thursday on Beyond 2000, a radical new boat that can walk on land. In Sweden, a crater that could hold the secret to the world's oil supply.
If oil or gas is found, it could blow the rig right out of the ground.
The electronic phone to the lazy shopper, which allows you to order anything from a new car to a carton of drink. And to help those tired feet, the water-filled inner soul.
The only problem is, I'm a little prone to seasickness.
Beyond 2000, presented by AMP, Thursday 8:30 on 7.
And welcome back to World of Sport. I've joined some of the clan that have come into our studios today to join us for our final program. I see an old face over there in Bruce Andrew. Bruce, come over and join me for a moment, would you? Let's put our hands together for one of the originals. Welcome.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks very much. What a great day.
Well, a sad day for you, I guess.
Yeah, very sad. Especially when I see Casey over there and Doug Elliott, and we're talking to Lou and Colin Long and all those boys, to think that they will not be together as a group in a program such as this. It is very sad. I feel quite emotional about it.
Bruce, how long were you involved with World of Sport?
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, one of the original football panel. And I went through with Case and Jack and Lou, and you know, we had a finger in so many of the features that became known throughout Australia, like the champion kick. It was a sad day when that went off too. And the handball, of course, and What's Your Decision, and all those special features that may help to make the World of Sport. I was fortunate to be involved with Lou and Ron in the production of those originally, and preparing the rules and the even the board that was used for the handball. Now, we created that sitting at lunch one day with Lou, and it's all over Australia now. So I think we have left our mark in so many ways that it will always be World of Sport in the minds of people for many generations.
Bruce, I'm glad you could join us today, and I hope you have an enjoyable couple of hours. I'm sure there'll be plenty of reminiscing, but great to see you here.
We've had a lot already, Sandy.
Bruce Andrew joining us on World of Sport. Now, Bruce mentioned Colin Long, who's also been with the show for something like 22 years, is it, Col?
Actually, I think it goes back to 28. My memory, which is getting ancient now, I think I was in the original Sunday show of the of World of Sport. Anyway, believe it or not, other things go on overseas, so let's give you some results in the golf and tennis world. First of all, let's have a look at some of the golf results that have taken place in the last few days. We've got some Australians performing in Jan Stevenson at Tucson, Arizona, with 137 after 2 rounds, leading from Sally Quinlan, with Australians Penny Pultz and Susan Tonkin trailing in that tournament. We then have the New Orleans Classic for the men with Dick Mast, rather a new name in the golf scene, on 132, and with 133 Bob Gilder and Ben Crenshaw, who we know so well, 134. Australians, Steve Elkington, keep watching. That's going to be a great player, that man, Steve Elkington. Then you've got David Graham and Wayne Grady on 141. We had a Pro-Am. We've had a series of them, which have been marvellous for golf here in Victoria. And the player I've been watching is Brett Officer with a 63, 7 under, and a course record, defeating Roger Mackay, who recently won the Victorian Open, and very promising David Smith on 65. The Victorian Amateur is taking place down at Woodlands Golf Club today. Bradley Hughes defeating Steve McGraw at 11-10, and then Peter Campbell in a magnificent performance getting up to beat Paul Maloney at the 39th hole. And after 9 holes this morning, I was advised that Hughes was 1 up on Campbell. We've got a couple of tennis results which we might be able to give to you. First of all, in Rotterdam, the Grand Prix, You've got John McEnroe defeating Miloslav Machir at 6-1-7-5. Edberg and Jared defeating Machir and Smid at 6-1-6-2. Whilst in Dallas, Pam Shriver has defeated Wendy Turnbull at 6-1-6-4. Well, there we got some of the results, and life won't be the same, you know, without an occasional golf segment and seeing a bloke like Jeff Parslow have an air shot here in the studio. But for me, it's been a fantastic time, and I wish you all well, all you good golfers and tennis players. It's been a delight to be here.
The soccer scene, Fred Villiers. Well, we'll get...
Well, no, here's Fred. He's just been out bouncing the ball.
Where is he?
Here, Fred.
Thanks very much, right. Well, the story in the soccer scene is simply this, that Southampton are desperately trying to win their way into Division 1.
Here's a few famous footy names you'll see at Sportsgo this season. Adidas Record, now $45. Puma Mexico, now $65. Adidas Pro, now $90. Puma Brazil, now $35. Diodora Champion, now $80. And Adidas Hero, now $25. Sportsgo, famous names in sport.
This one, dear?
This one, Bev?
Once the way to buy something expensive was to get a personal loan.
A loan? I'll have to fill in one of these.
Now you can get a custom card from Custom Credit.
We'll take it.
Righto.
It's like a permanent personal loan in your pocket.
Mother's maiden name.
Instead of waiting 24 hours, you get instant approval.
I finished. Oh, I am sorry. It seems to have been sold.
Custom Card, a personal loan in your pocket.
Welcome to Baronia Marine, the complete boating supermarket, with over 2 acres of boats, and more boats.
Yes, Baronia Marine have boats that are new and some great pre-love boats with lots of fishing life for all to enjoy. You can also see a great range of outboard motors, skis, boating accessories, and yes, even a boat in the water. There's no better place to buy a boat than Baronia Marine, the complete boating supermarket, 347 Dorset Road in beautiful downtown Baronia.
When you look around Victoria at the start of every day, you'll find someone there to help you, someone with you all the way. 'Cause when it comes to your insurance, there's a name you need to know. They're safe and sure and they care for you more than the SIO.
To insure a shop like mine, SIO are okay. They looked after me.
And they're okay for home insurance.
And okay for car insurance too.
Victorian Grown, Victoria's Own, they're the SIO.
They're right.
What a start to the season by the West Coast Eagles, coming from behind again last night to defeat Fitzroy by 23 points, as we check now on some of the highlights of last night's clash at VFL Park.
Now against Stevens, knocked out by Ischenko, picked up by Clayton. A hand pass comes over to McGrath. Shot at goal. This might be good. It is. It's a goal again to McGrath. Just over the 15-minute mark. There's a chance now for Renstead, but the umpire's found a free kick while the two big fellas box on there. Ischenko and Scott, Mark Scott. I wouldn't want to tackle that big Ischenko, and that'd be like fighting one of those big Russian weightlifters, wouldn't it?
You're thinking of Rocky IV, are you?
I don't know what's Rocky IV, but he's certainly a big piece of meat out there, isn't he?
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Keane and Scott. One by Keane. Taps it over the back. This is Knight. Good tackle by Phil Narkle. Pushed him out. Got the ball to a teammate down there. And the big fellow Bennett has put it through.
Tack through and near. Down to their half-forward. There's a go now for McNeish. Oh, he fumbled that. He's got time to recover. Now he's right, a long shot at goal, and this is good again. So it's 3 points the difference now. Mark dropped by Bartlett, but he's appealing for a free kick. Up goes Kapler. He's knocked over. There's a chance now for Stevens to snap at goal. He's done it.
Great goal.
Good goal, and he's been a star down there tonight. There's a go for the big fella, Keane. Balks nicely. Oh, he's in a bit of trouble. He gets a hand pass out to Matera. Snap at goal, and they've bounced back again. So it's still 3 points the difference.
The Fitzroy's best defenders, one of the best on the ground, but Anier's there again. Gets it back to Bennett and gets one for his corner. He decides to play on, and he kicks the ball longer to Mammoth kick. and do the racing for it. He doesn't get there. It's bounced through for another goal. Knuckle now, after it had come off the hands of Matera. Long hand pass down to half forward. Finally picked up by Big Bennett. Matera, 50 metres out. Short pass into the goal square. Two players are there. One was Lewis, but the marker's taken for 9 points the difference. It's an awkward-looking kick, but it's a goal.
Tall. Keane tried to get up, but just couldn't get high enough.
Long kick again. Down towards Keane. This is Narkle, has a snapshot at goal. That just about makes it safe for my book and the Eagles.
Yes, the West Coast Eagles running all over Fitzroy in the end. The final scoreline showing the Eagles 12-15-87, accounting for Fitzroy 10-4-64. Looking ahead, on Tuesday, the 31st of March, Essendon play the Sydney Swans live from VFL Park, and of course you'll be able to catch all that action here exclusively on 7. There was a report to come out of last night's game, that being Fitzroy forward Mark Scott, and we have just learned, the tribunal sat this morning, we have learnt that Scott has been found guilty of a striking charge by the tribunal, but has escaped a suspension because of his good record. So Mark Scott is fit to play in the next game with the Lions. Let's go back again to 1959, because it was then that Colin Campbell was asked to host a segment on World of Sport, and I'm sure, Col, you've got plenty of nostalgia attached to today's program.
Well, the same confusion appears to be here.
Now, don't be like that. What did you start doing? When did you start?
Well, I gave a golf clinic, and Jeff Brook was there. It was Saturday morning. Ron was there, of course. 4 of us. One girl did athletics, and there was a fourth person that I can't remember, but I think it was a cricketer.
Well, it was an hour show then?
Yes, it went for an hour. And, of course, it grew and grew and then transferred to Sundays.
Be lovely for you today to catch up with some of the old faces that are here, I guess.
Oh, well, it's nice to see they're still here.
And you followed the program throughout the years?
Oh, yes. I suppose I'd see it 20, 30 times a year. And always, of course, for the football, because mad Richmond supporter. Wonder why they're not better than they are, but they will be.
Oh, well, perhaps you can spend some time with Tony Jewell this year, giving him a hand. But thanks for being with us today, Col.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, hang on. Here's...
No, seriously, I'd like to start to mention this.
Come in, Louis.
Colin Campbell was in our first golf clinic, and the show used to always run late, as you know.
Nothing's changed.
After it'd gone 5 minutes, the show was an hour beyond time, and Casey said at the end, we've got to get Colin over quickly. He never got his 7 on out the bag to do the clinic, did you, Col?
Well, I think somebody said to me one day, well, you got your hands on the club today. I was Bill Collins.
Actually, Louis,
yes.
When the show ran for an hour then, because even then you were running late, is that when Case decided, right, we've got to lengthen this program?
I don't know about that. I think at that particular stage, Doug Elliott was owning the show and he's selling more ads than he could put into the show, so he extended it 2 hours because Doug didn't like money at all. You knew that.
Yes. You and he are very alike, aren't you, in many ways?
Well, a little bit that way, too.
We'll take a break. Stay with us, won't you?
After making the Mitsubishi Canter not so squeezy, we weren't content to simply rest on our laurels. We designed a better Canter with tougher suspension, a bigger payload, and a choice of petrol, direct injection diesel, or gutsy turbo power. We even gave it real big truck styling. The Mitsubishi Canter. So superior, it commands respect.
Oh, your truck.
Hey, what do you do when you're just about to turn over the T-bones at a perfect Sunday afternoon barbecue and the gas runs out? You reach for your Bonza Barbie, that's what you do. And what do you do when the kids are starving and all the barbecues at the park have lines of people waiting? You reach for your Bonza Barbie, that's what you do. And what do you do when the cars are absolutely chockers and having planned a family barbecue, either grandma or the barbecue has to go? No, they don't. You reach for the Bonza Barbie. That's what you do. Disposable Bonza Barbies are the best idea under $6. They come with their own matches and coal, burn up to 2 hours. That's fantastic. And when you've finished your feast, you just douse the flames with the dregs from the wine cast and throw it straight in the bin. It's that easy. New disposable Bonza Barbies for less than $6. I'll tell you one thing, it's a Bonza idea. Have a look at that. You clapped during the commercial.
Mesdames, Messieurs,
Tina Turner! Monday night, the multi-Grammy Award-winning Granny of Rock and Roll. A fresh triumph by the lady who's never played by the rules. The first red-hot time on television.
6, 3, 4,
broadcast on Eon FM in stunning stereo, 9:30 Monday night. Tina Turner, break every rule.
After the 1985 Melbourne Cup, Patrick Aloysius Hyland came into World of Sport as one of the proudest men in racing. Well, he's got a different reason to be proud today. Not only did he ride a winner yesterday at Flemington, his son Matthew rode too. And both Pat and Matthew are our special guests in World of Sport, speaking with Keith Hillier and Roy Higgins.
Yes, thank you, Peter. In fact, 18 years ago today, Pat Hyland was at World of Sport because on the day before he had won the Golden Slipper Stakes in Sydney on Vane, and the young fellow on my right, Matthew, was only 6 months old. Between them yesterday, 3 winners at Flemington. Pat, many memories, both with your association with the World of Sport over those many years.
Yes, Keith, I think that all of my 6 children have been in here at one time or another.
And wrecked the place at one time or another too.
Yes, they probably did. And but, you know, it's quite odd now that Matthew and I can be in here and he can drive me home.
Right. Matthew, how did you feel about riding 100% more winners than your dad yesterday at Flemington?
Oh, well, didn't feel much different, really.
Right. Did you have a go at him about that? You better tell it.
No.
Not game, Matthew.
No, I won't. I've got to win a Melbourne Cup first.
Right.
Pat, it's going to be a big blow to the younger riders today, because one of the things that has been so advantageous to the young riders is being able to sit back and watch replays of races more so than their masters talking to them, where you can have them on tape and sit down and say, look, son, this is where you did something wrong or right or whatever. Yeah. It's going to make it pretty hard on the young people of today.
Yes, I suppose it is, Roy. I think that watching replays is a very good thing and has been very, beneficial. But I don't think that, I think the hard facts of race riding is getting out there and doing it. After all, I think that the good, tough jockeys were the ones before cameras. I think since cameras have come in, I think it's really caused a few problems.
Pat, a lot of jockeys would learn a lot from watching your ride on Cameronic yesterday. Let's have a look at that now as we run through it with Roy. Pat Hyland winning at Flemington on Cameronic.
A new tactics used on Cameronic yesterday by leading, Pat?
Yes, Roy, actually I wasn't supposed to lead, but the horse jumped very well, and I was left there, so I decided to ride him that way. And he's one of those horses, I think he probably likes to be just kidded to a bit.
Yeah. I was going to say, you didn't go for the whip, and the horse does have a bit of a mind of his own, and he obviously appreciated that way of riding.
Yeah, so I think he enjoyed probably bowling along in front, as it's turned out.
Well, let's have a look at this like son. He's Matthew, storming home on Major Drive in the last.
Matthew, we see you there with those infamous blue colours with the white bands. You've got a long way back, which is normal for Major Drive, and a long way home.
Yes, Roy. Had planned to be a little bit closer on him, but there's a lot more pace on in the race than what we thought there would be, and he got a lot further back, but he got the line good.
Pat, looking at your son there riding that horse out, he has a bit of that P. Hyland polish about him, but he probably sits a little bit lower than the saddle than what Dad does.
Yes, he does. He's a bit younger than I too, Roy. But
he bends over easier.
Yeah, but I think Matthew's showing tremendous desperation, and which I believe is the type of thing that's going to carry him in good stead.
Killer instinct.
Yeah, I think you've got to have it.
Yes.
You've got to have it. And I believe that maturity now is sort of, I think Matthew's next couple of years will be his best.
Well, Patrick and Matthew, for your support of the racing segment on World of Sport, we say thank you, and with your careers we say good luck. And to those of you at home that have supported us too, we say thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Roy.
And we salute a team of real champions.
The boys at World of Sport, yeah, keep punching, fellas. Back after this.
I thought you were very good, Tony.
Thank you very much.
This is my wife, Cheryl, and this here is my new ARC do-it-yourself fence. It don't look much now, but here, you just watch.
There are 5 gorgeous styles of ARC do-it-yourself fence, and just $15 per metre. We save buckets of money. Of course, if you're not an athlete, like my Eric, ARC could get it done for you for just a few extra bucks.
Now you tell me. Anyway, call ARC right now.
Not all small business people have been forced to tighten their belts. Some have found a more efficient way to trim their expenses. Get on the phone and get on with business.
The retail price of these brand new Daihatsu Charades is $11,354, and I think that's crazy. My price is $9,985. I'll give you a bonus $1,400 minimum trade-in. You pay only $8,585. You haven't heard wrong. All you'll pay is $8,585 with your bonus $1,400 minimum trade-in. Get in fast and grab a bargain from Barry Connell Southern Motors Daihatsu.
When it's knock-off time for busy hands, it's time for Lightning. With its new citrus formula, it lifts off dirt and grime in a flash, leaving your hands sparkling clean. Treat your hands to Lightning Hand Cleaner and you'll notice the difference straight away.
Valentine, the natural choice in cheese, present the Roller Cycling Derby.
And it's time for the grand final of the Valentine Roller Cycling Championships today on World of Sport between Alan Dipple on the red roller and Chris Wood on the yellow roller. Let's have a look at both of the grand finalists. First of all, 30 years of age, Alan Dipple from Oakley, formerly of course from South Africa. He's a salesman, the winner of 13 South African national titles. A string of credits to his name. He's won the last 2 World of Sport Roller Cycling Championships, and if he's successful today, he becomes the first man ever to win 3 in a row. His best time, 1 minute, 0.2 seconds, and he's all out today to break the magical 1 minute mark. That's Alan Dipple on the red roller. His opponent on the yellow roller, 26 years of age, Chris Wood from Bayswater, an automotive retailer. 4 times Australian Amateur Junior Champion, 3rd place in the 87 Australian Professional 16 kilometre Championship, and he's been the surprise packet this year after several years layoff. It's his first year on the Roller Cycling Championships, a brilliant cyclist with a lot of natural talent. Can he overcome the favourite, Alan Dipple? We're about to find out. The Valentine Roller Cycling Championship Grand Final coming up after this break.
My goodness me, cameras all around me. I don't know where the hell they're from. It must be a few newspapers or something like that. How are you, pal? Well, anyway, it's good to be with you, even with the cameras and the lot, because that's part of show business. And part of our business in World of Sport for many years has been the great firm of Valentine's. Not only with their vintage tasty cheese, which is the best in the business, what are you going to do there? Now get off the set, Louis. I helped you with your commercial. You just keep out of mine. Take him off, would you, kindly? Okay. The other thing I want to mention is the fact that the first suite that they introduced, you're coming in here, aren't you?
I am coming. The beauty of commercial
is entertainments, which is a beauty, you know it all. It's the beautiful finish to a meal. Actually, I want to say thank you to Neil Buckridge, to John North, and the boss, Brian Valentine. They've been great sports. They've come at everything we've suggested to them through the years, the roller cycling, the wood chop. Bless you, Valentine. You've been a great asset to World of Sport, which never should go off the air.
Just be quiet a minute, Doug. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you'll agree that Doug has been a tremendous asset to World of Sport. When everyone cracked a corny gag, Doug was first to laugh. And of course, today, this is Doug's last commercial live. He'll be doing tape one, but his last commercial live.
I'm doing one later.
Yeah, but I mean, next week you won't be doing him live.
Well, that's fair enough.
Fair enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, just a feeling for Uncle Doug. How about a big hand for Doug now and say goodbye to Doug? Because he's been terrific and we love you all down here, Doug.
I love you all too, don't worry about that.
Now listen, we've got a big bag over there so you can take all your goodies home so you won't be seen.
I'll be taking them too, but look at Case over there, God bless him. I suppose he's going to get his spotlight sometime.
You know what, he was walking around a moment ago, Casey, telling blokes to be quiet, and he realised he wasn't in charge of the show anymore.
Well, that's Casey, isn't it? Oh, he's beautiful. He's absolutely beautiful. The best interviewer of a sports nature that the show ever had. And incidentally, radio and television ever had.
I think the best interview we've ever had on World of Sport was the day that Ron Casey interviewed the world champion, undefeated world champion, Rocky
Marciano, yeah.
And that'll go down in history, and I think that we're not going to give Case a round of applause. You never know, maybe general manager somewhere else, Doug. We made it a job somewhere.
Bloody oath. Anyway, I've done the ads.
Thank you, gentlemen. And as usual, Uncle, when he's told the commercials must run 30, he thinks they mean 30 minutes. Now it's time for the final. Alan Dipple, can he break the magical 1 minute barrier, or will Chris Wood overcome him? 4 laps of the board, the grand final, under the control of Ross Forster. Get ready.
And away they go. Now let's see, can Dipple do it? He's straight out of the blocks and already establishes a 20-metre lead. He's got the disc wheels on today, you can see. So he's trying for a fast time, and I'll tell you what, Chris Wood is sticking with him. Normally Alan Dipple gets a big break, but he's got about 30 metres after going a lap, and he's a very strong cyclist. This 13-time South African champion, a lap and a half gone. He's 40 metres in front. There's Chris Wood, there's Alan Dipple. He's powering away now, 55, 60 metres in front. Chris Wood can't really find the answer, and Dipple's going to run away and try and break this magical 1 minute mark. He's going to win, that's for sure. The only question now is the time. Chris Wood really tiring, Alan Dipple going strongly. 1 lap to go. The Valentine Roller Cycling Grand Final is going to go to Alan Dipple, and the clock ticking over towards the minute mark. He's now over a quarter of a lap in front. The former South African getting very tired, but he's still going brilliant time. And with 100 metres left to go, Alan Dipple becomes the first man ever to win 3 Valentine Roller Cycling Championships in a row. A brilliant performance over Chris Wood. What a marvellous cyclist he is. And as I say, Alan Dipple now becomes the first man ever to win 3 World of Sport Roller Cycling Championships in a row. A fantastic performance. And of course, the all-important thing is the time. Let's find out just exactly what it was as we go to the presentation area and Sandy Roberts.
Right, thank you, Pete.
Just
Ross.
missed out, Sandy. 1-1.
Oh, just missed out. Alan, congratulations on a fantastic performance, and well, the last 3 years have belonged to one Alan Dipple. What about putting your hands together once again for Alan? Amazing performance. And I think the other people that we should thank as far as this particular segment is concerned on World of Sport is the company Valentine's, who have supported it magnificently over the years. In fact, it's been something like a 10-year association that World of Sport and Valentine's have had. John North is joining us on the program for the last time today, John. And I guess a touch of sadness for you too, because your support has been wonderful.
It certainly is, Sandy. And we've had a long and rewarding association with World of Sport, and yes, it is a sad day for us.
Well, you're going to make some people very, very happy. I don't know whether the 4th and 3rd place getters from the championship are... Yes, they're with us right away. Let's have Stephen Pate. Steve, would you like to come forward as 4th place getter, because John has a cheque for you? A round of applause, please, for Stephen Pate, 4th in this year's championship. Tony Wood is 3rd. Tony, would you like to come forward? Well done. Now, a runner-up was Chris Wood. Chris, congratulations on making it to the final. Congratulations. And, of course, you know him pretty well, Alan Dipple, the winner. Well done. And, Al, I'm sure, besides this victory today, but I'm sure on behalf of all the boys, you'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, first I'd like to congratulate all the other place getters. A couple of new young pros that have given us some high times this year. I'd like to thank Channel 7 again for putting on the show. Valentine's a sponsor. It's been fantastic. Without them, we wouldn't have had the event. I'd like to just thank my own sponsors, Action Cycles and City Cycling Shoes. Also thanks to Ross, who's been making the trip from Castlemaine every week to handle proceedings here. I'm sorry to see the show go. It's been great working with you guys. Thanks.
Well done. Thanks, Al, very much, and congratulations once again. Well done. And Ross, I know you'd like to say a couple of words too before you head back to Castlemaine.
That's right, Sandy. Yeah. Thank you. Just on behalf of the League of Victorian Wheelmen, I'd like to thank Channel 7 for the opportunity to promote professional cycling. It's been 29 years, and I think cycling has been a part of that 29 years right from the word go. And I personally have been involved here for 8 years as a competitor and now as an official, and they've been a very memorable 8 years that I've had here, and I'd like to thank everybody for their help and support. I don't know about progress and chopping a show like this. The sports public of Melbourne are pretty unique, and sort of certainly rubs me up the wrong way to think that the powers that be up north can tell us what we can watch and what we can't watch, but that's the way it goes. And I'd just like to thank again everybody in here, and congratulations to Alan, a fine champion to finish the show on, winning it 3 times in a row. It's a unique performance, and thanks very much.
OK, Ross, thank you very much, and to all the boys. And Louis, look, nothing's changed. You can hear all the noise in the background, isn't it
Sandy, you did thank John North for Valentine's effort, but also Valentine's have been a marvellous sponsor. They had the wood chop, and we do thank them, not only from Sandy and the executive staff here, but from all the boys around that work in the show, because I don't know what we're going to do now. We have guests for dinner. How are we going to get on for entertainment?
Straight into the coffee.
Straight into the coffee. But we thank you very much, John. It's been fantastic. How about it for Valentine's, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you, John. Thank you, Louis. We shall return shortly.
Well, we've had just a little bit of trouble at the moment. The machine has jammed with the trots in it. And so I think we'll show you the cards. Let's have a look at the cards of all results on the program anyway for the trotting last. No, we're right. We've got it working. Here it is.
This was supposed to be another commercial for Peter's Monaco bar. Remember? Double indulgence ice cream. Well, I can't do it. And here's why. Look, these are the Monaco bars I was going to show you. But it seems people just can't keep themselves away from that doubly delicious combination of Peter's vanilla ice cream and smooth choc biscuits. Peter's Monaco bar, the double indulgence. And not getting this one.
The tyres on this car come from one of the world's leading makers, with full cat-like going and stopping grip. It's the brilliant Elite, the Aussie-made steel-belted radial to fit most 14-inch wheels, exclusive to Kmart, at just $65 fitted, because Kmart won't be beaten on price. There are other Elite radial sizes to fit most popular cars for a low $57 fitted, only at Kmart.
Alternative lifestyles, Charles. Nudist colonies.
6 o'clock Monday.
Maybe they have field trips.
Oh, doesn't it stunt your growth or something?
That's ridiculous, Charles. I've been drinking coffee for 30 years.
Charles in charge, 6 o'clock Monday.
In 1959, when Case and Uncle and the boys were starting to put the show on the road, they decided upon a bowl segment, and they rang the then secretary of the RVBA, had a chat to him, and blow me down, soon he was on the program doing the bowl segment. His name was John Dobby. He's with us once again today, and I've just found out something, John, that I find quite staggering and that we haven't had for years here on World of Sport, and that is that you had rehearsals in those days.
That's right, Sandy.
What were they?
Then rehearsals at 8, got in at 8 o'clock, rehearsals at 9, the show started at 11, went through till 12 o'clock. That's right, I had to have a pair of cream trousers dyed Saxe blue so that they'd come up in the black and white. It was white trousers. I always remember that. It was a really fascinating experience. And we've had a wonderful time of some 28 years with HS37 and Ron Casey and all the boys, Alf Potter. And, you know, the memories are something which we'll retain for many, many years to come. And I'm very sorry that this session must end, but nevertheless, we look forward to continued progress for HS37. That's the main thing.
Thank you, John. Now, what news have you on the bowls?
Well, we had a very busy week of bowls last week. We've had the Mazda International Championship in South Australia. They've now reached the finals being played today. Dennis Katunarich won his semi-final yesterday against Ian Dickinson in New Zealand, 21-19. And the title holder, Ken Williams, was down by Ian Schuback of Queensland, 21-16. And they play off today at Lockleys in South Australia for the Mazda International. Ken Williams has won it twice and he's lost the chance to win it 3 times. But Schuback, runner-up in the Commonwealth Games singles in Edinburgh this year, playing Dennis Katunarich, the champion of Australia 2 years ago. And of course the ladies' pennant was played this week when the Glenroy side won the Division 1 pennant, beating Cheltenham, whilst on Friday the Jack Wilson's Burwood 4 won the Victorian Fours Championship at Myrtleford, 21-20 against our very well-known bowler here comes into World of Sport, Cecil Arbuckle, who's won the draw at the Jack and Drive competition after an extra end, and that was a very big win for Jack Wilson of the Burwood Club. Yesterday Burwood also played in the final of the Metropolitan Pennant. Let's have a look at some of the play in that game between Burwood and Doncaster at Beaumaris. Arthur Moy of Burwood leading for Jack Wilson, playing Jeff Hall of Doncaster. Plays his first bowl on his forehand, draws a very close bowl, good shot. And here we have Thompson of leading for Jeff Hall for Doncaster. Doncaster got away to a very good start and they really held the ascendancy all day. And there's the result of a good bowl. Watch this good shot of Arthur Moyes, talented bowler playing with Burwood. Coming on his forehand again, just reaches the bowl, rub off the bowl onto the jack, trails it back. Thompson's again his second bowl, changing his hand. And a very good shot really, because it's not easy to change your hand, particularly leading. And he plays just behind the jack, and a good position bowl, as you'll see later on. Jeff Harding of Burwood recently joined Burwood from New Zealand. Winner of the, a member of the team that won the Fours Championship at Myrtleford on Friday, a little bit short. Big crowd in attendance at Beaumaris. Noel Owens, one of Doncaster's old bowlers, gets a little rub, picks up the jack, causes Jeff Hall to become a bit excited. Ray Polstra, the third for Jack Wilson in the four that won the championship at Myrtleford, played on his backhand, a little bit short. Ray Polstra, of course, was the runner-up in the Draw to the Jack competition this year. Bob Grisell, one of the stalwarts of the Doncaster side, playing third for Hall, plays up on his backhand, and watch this very nice draw shot just around the front bowl. Draws right onto the jack, applies a bit of pressure. Ray Polster's second bowl, watching very carefully, just comes inside the short bowl, turns it over to probably second shot. Bob Grisell's second bowl. Very vital game this between Hall and Wilson, because Hall is one of the outstanding skippers of Melbourne Pennant at the moment, and of course Jack Wilson, our international and also champion of Victoria Fours. And strange to say, it was a very big win for Hall, 33-8 in this game, and Doncaster went on to win very comfortably. Jack Wilson, see his style, won the championship of Victoria and played for Australia, won the Fours Championship of Victoria twice, one of our well-known good bowlers, just missed getting the shot. And watch this shot of Jeff Hall, which was really an indication of the way he played right through the day. Played with confidence, threw the bowl out wide to take the grass, finishes just round the short front bowl, just finishes up and draws what could be a second shot. The thirds go into measure, and I think you'll find that when the measure is put on that was a second shot, and there's the result of the game. Doncaster 114, winning by 43 shots from Burwood, 71. And in Division 2, the semi-finals, Williamstown 91 defeated Mentone 79, and Baronia 96 defeated Rosanna 86, and they play in the final next week. And in Division 3, Glen Waverley 2, 109 defeated Ferntree Gully 91, and the very old Victoria Club, having a very successful season, 92 defeated Kingsbury 82, and they of course play Glen Waverley next Saturday in this final of Division 3 and go up to Division 2 this year. The Bowls and Golf Centre Club Award, Doncaster #1 side with 15 wins, 413 up, win narrowly from Mentone, with Glen Waverley and Mulgrove Country Club second. And in the ladies, we see Chelsea Division A2 side with 15 wins, winning from Blackburn, Edith Vale and Seddon. Their trophies from Bowls and Golf Centre will be presented to them at the annual meetings of the respective clubs, because, as we're all sorry to say, the World of Sport finishes this week and there can be no opportunity next week to present them, but nevertheless they will get them at their annual meetings. And of course this coming week we have another very busy week of bowls, with the playing of the Pairs Championships tomorrow, quarter-finals, semi-finals and the finals on Tuesday, and on Thursday and Friday the quarter-final, semi-final and finals of the Victorian Singles Championships being played at Bundoora, the Pairs Championship at Bentley. And now let me pass you over to Sandy Roberts for the presentation of the trophies for the Draw to the Jack and Drive competitions.
Thank you, John, very much. Time now to make the presentations, as you said, and I think one thing we're probably not aware of with John Dobie, who's been with us since the show's inception, but also 5 times Australian champion and a great ambassador for the sport over the years. You've been absolutely marvellous, and I'm sure the bowlers in particular are going to miss you and Mr. Segman.
Thanks, Andy. Well, we'll miss it, because I'm sure the bowlers have appreciated the opportunity that HSV7 has provided. And this has been over a number of years, and certainly we've had wonderful support from the channel. We've had wonderful support from the bowlers themselves, because these tournaments have been staged with their support and their generous cooperation. But nevertheless, the technicians, the manner in which the technical people have handled the filming, and I remember Gordon Bennett going back when he was on the cameras many years ago, and we've had our own Bruce Andrew from the RVBA, who originated the Draw to the Jack and Drive competitions. Therefore we'll miss it very much.
Okay, John, well let's get on with the business now. We've got the presentations to make to the draw and also to the drive, and firstly the runner-up in the draw is Ray Polster.
Ray?
Would you like to come forward, Ray, and receive your trophy?
Congratulations, Ray.
Thank you very much, John.
Congratulations for Friday. Good luck.
You very much. And the winner of the draw, John Snell.
John? There you are, your set of bowls.
Magnificent.
A nice set of bowls for you. The new bowl made available by Henselites or the HSV7, a new international standard bowl, and I only hope it brings you further success.
Thank you very much, John.
Actually, we might keep John here for a moment because he was also runner-up in the drive, John.
Well, that is the combined trophy.
Thank you very much and congratulations on
Thanks,
those
Andy.
two. Fantastic effort. And the winner of the drive, and I think, now here's a man, he's part of the program too, isn't he, really? Bob Middleton. Congratulations, Bob, winner of the drive.
Congratulations, Bob.
1969, was it 1969?
Yeah, first time 1969, Sandy.
And still going strong.
Still going strong, Sandy, yeah, hopefully.
Well, congratulations to you all, and John, once again, our thanks to you.
Of course, I think we also should take note of the fact that today we have with us two internationals, two of the greatest bowlers in Australia today, Bob Middleton and John Snell, each representing Australia in international competition. And what a fitting finale to this World of Sport program that two players of such standard should be participating in this final day. Thank you very much, Sandy.
Thank you, John, and well done to the boys. And of course, World of Sport, our final edition, will continue.
Goodbye, World of Sport. Thanks for the memory. We'll be back in a minute.
You've got a good mate at Tyre Power. He gives you mates rates at Tyre Power. Your mate owns a store, so he gives you more. Just round the corner at Tyre Power. Sell us another ring. Mates rates will beat the rest, holla. When it comes to saving a dollar, you're in luck with the bucks, whether you drive a truck, a sports car, a bus or a roller. Sell us another ring, just like the other
Where
ring.
the man who owns the store runs the store.
Just round the corner at Tyre Power.
Look how Alcan changed this family's way of life. You can cheer up your home and gain extra living space by adding an Alcan patio extension. Add a rumpus room, a sunny sitting room, an indoor-outdoor area you can fill with plants. Your whole lifestyle can change so simply and so quickly with one of Alcan's creative ideas.
Cheer up your house with Alcan. Get rid of the homesick blues.
Call Alcan now for full details.
My kind of people, my kind of taste. Hungry Jack's is a special place. Got no reason to change my ways, 'cause they are what we are. That's Australian made. This is the Hungry Jack's way. They make it just for me. Make it a Hungry Jack's day.
Now, aren't you hungry?
Welcome back. Let's just turn the clock back 1,355 episodes and find out how World of Sport actually began. I mean, what did Ron Casey do? What did Uncle Doug do? Did they sit down and have a chat and say, hey, look, I think a sports show could be an idea? Well, the man that can tell us is with us, and I'm sure we'll all welcome him back, Ron Casey.
Thanks, Andy. What did you do, Ron? I mean, how did it... Well, actually, the beginning of World of Sport, as you probably know, is it was on Saturday morning. But the reason for it being on Saturday morning is not generally known. The marketing guy at Westinghouse, who were retailers of television sets back in 1956 and 57, really wanted to get some pictures on a television screen on a Saturday morning, because most of the decisions about buying a television set were being made on Saturday morning by the family.
Yep.
And they'd go to the shop to buy a television set and there was nothing on. So they decided for 13 weeks they'd put a sports program on. So for 13 weeks on Saturday morning for 2 hours, there was a sports program, and I'm trying to think of some of the people who are in it. I know Jack Ayling was in it, Jeff Brook was in it as the angling expert, and Colin Campbell, the golfing man. Doug was doing the commercials, and it was one of those sorts of programs. So it ran its 13 weeks, and that's what the customer wanted. Westinghouse was very pleased with it, and then we decided that we'd give it a run on Sunday. And of course, in those days, broadcasting sport on a Sunday was a fairly touchy subject. I think it went to air firstly at 1 o'clock, Doug, was it? Yeah, 1 o'clock for half an hour. And Westinghouse was so pleased with the program that they they decided to continue with it. It was Westinghouse World of Sport initially on the Sunday, then it gradually extended to an hour, and the old broadcast control board were a bit nervous. Then we got it back to 12:30, and then got it back to 12 o'clock, and so it happened. Westinghouse went out of it, but their major retailer in Melbourne, their distributor, was Veals in those days.
Right.
And Veals were more than happy to take it over, and it became Veals World of Sport. And so it just went on and on and on, and so it happened, and all those wonderful episodes continued.
It certainly did. Tell me why and whose decision was it to drop rehearsals?
I don't think we ever had any.
Well, perhaps some people called them rehearsals.
Oh, we had a walkthrough here in the morning, and depended how you felt, you know, how long the walkthrough was. It's good to see. I saw Joe Benson a little while ago. Joe was the original film editor, head of the film department here before videotape, and many a morning Joe and I would be up there at 5 o'clock in the morning trying to find out what this film was and what that film was. You made the best cup of tea known in the building, Joe, at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Tea or black coffee?
Oh no, it was tea. He was a very good tea man, Joe. And of course he had some anxious moments. Neil Roberts would forget to bring the film back from Sydney, and Skeeter Coglan would go out and do a grand final series of interviews, and next morning you weren't too sure what was on the film at all. There's one piece of film up there somewhere in the archives. I think it's taken 35 seconds for Skeeter to say magnificent. But they were great times.
Yes, they certainly were, Ron. Well, let's just put you to work for a final time on World of Sport, because you do have a presentation to make.
Yes, I do, Sandy. Some years ago, a group of teachers were involved in trying to raise money to take some school kids away, and they were battling a little bit, and the guy involved spoke to Neil Roberts. Neil mentioned it to me, and we're able to run a little appeal here on World of Sport, and so this activity continued each year. Then a group of us around the station thought that there might be an opportunity to help some small sporting organisations, and the World of Sport Foundation was formed. Now, it has helped in a very unspectacular way quite a few young sporting organisations for young people. One of the groups that we've helped every year in a very quiet way has been the Victorian Primary School Sports Association. The decision's been made to wind up the fund for all sorts of reasons, and with $63,000 in the fund, we had to decide what we would do with the money that was there. It's been decided that we're going to give this money to that organisation, the Victorian Primary School Sports Association, and I'd ask Neil McLean, the treasurer, if he'd come forward and take the cheque. Now, we've been through quite a few exciting events with you.
We have.
And it is with much pleasure on behalf of World of Sport that we wind up this fund and give you the cheque for $63,000. Now, I know you've got some big activities coming up in the next 12 to 18 months, and perhaps just so that everybody knows what the organisation is, you might like to just tell us what that association does.
Thank you, Ron. Yes, well, our association is concerned with children about the ages of 10, 11 and 12 years, and each year we participate in national carnivals. This year we have swimming and athletics both to be held in Brisbane, a cross-country event in Narracourt, South Australia. We're hosting the tennis ourselves in Melbourne, and our football and netball teams go to Canberra. So, as you can imagine, these things cost a great deal of money. Unfortunately, most of it has to be passed on to the kids to pay for themselves, but people like yourselves are reducing those costs considerably, and with this cheque, of course, a lot of children over a lot of years to come are going to have their costs reduced, and so therefore there shouldn't be anybody who can't participate because of lack of funds. Our association, because of your help, is obviously going to be able to help them now.
Right, Neil. Well, I think all of us here at World of Sport believe that that money is a true investment in the future, and I hope it goes well with you.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you, Neil. And Ron, just before you go, I'm sure I say it on behalf of everyone concerned with World of Sport, not only those people that are in front of the camera, but particularly those people behind the cameras, behind the scenes, who don't get the recognition they deserve, and I'm sure they'd also like to just say one thing to you, and that is thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well done. We shall take a break.
Peter's won the toss.
Yes.
And he'll elect to go first with the left hand, is it, Peter? All right, well, let's take this message while we're getting underway, and then we'll be back with the Spalding handball semi-final. Well, we can't go because we haven't got any balls.
Ship some rum to Paris would really be embarrassed. If all the world could have a chirp like ours, we've got a red, 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 red rooster. Yes, we've got a red, 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 red rooster. You'll know with just one look, we've got the world's best chirp.
Australia, your chicken is ready.
We've got a red, 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 red rooster.
This is my wife, Cheryl, and this here is my new ARC do-it-yourself fence. It don't look much now, but here, you just watch.
There are 5 gorgeous styles of ARC do-it-yourself fence at just $15 per metre. We save buckets of money. Of course, if you're not an athlete, like my Eric, ARC could get it done for you for just a few extra bucks.
Now you tell me. Anyway, call ARC right now.
Monday,
That was my father they kidnapped this afternoon, and I know you worked for them.
the past catches up with the equalizer.
I never meant to work for people like that.
8:30 Monday, time to make amends.
Who the hell are you to even attempt to judge?
To our last program of World of Sport. The noise in here is almost unbearable. I hope you can hear things at home, and I certainly hope that you're enjoying the program. Well, the Swans enjoyed it yesterday at Princes Park when they took one of the tenants to pieces, namely Carlton, in no uncertain fashion. A fine performance by the Sydney Swans. Let's take this report on what turned out to be a pretty fiery clash from Alex first.
The Swans got the jump on Carlton, combining effectively in the first quarter and leaving the Blues flat-footed. Sydney's defence held strong and shut out Carlton's tall timber, leading to scrambly play in front of the Blues' goal. By quarter time, the Swans had piled on 5 goals to Carlton's 2. Carlton came back strongly in the second term with a series of goals in the opening minutes. 7 minutes into the quarter and a wild brawl erupted. Players came from all parts of the ground to join in until all but a handful were involved in the fracas. It took the umpires quite a time to settle the players down and get the game started again. But the fireworks didn't stop there. Carlton's John Dorotich was reported for allegedly striking Greg Williams. Williams was in everything, providing a driving force for the Swans, and in the end Sydney ran out 37-point victors, 16-15, 111 to 10-14, 74. Coach Tom Hafey could be well pleased. Tommy, a good game on the scoreboard for the Swans. It augurs well for the season. Were you happy with the performance?
Yes, because Carlton are a pretty tough side to beat, and particularly with the Swans' performances here over the years. Hasn't been all that flash, and I think it must have been about the first time they've won at Princes Park for something like 20-odd years.
What are your expectations of the season?
Well, we think we should go all right. I think we'd be a better side than what we were last year. I don't know about the other sides, but just looking at our side, I think that we're combining, we've been pretty aggressive, and I think an improvement with a couple of the players, namely, say, Barry Mitchell for a start, a young player, Mark Bays, David Murphy, younger boys who I feel are going to be better players for us in 87 and onwards.
Anything different in pre-season training this year?
It was just exceptionally hard, but the players have been very good. They've buckled right down to it, and we've been terribly pleased with their attitude. Absolutely fantastic. 4 nights a week since November the 7th, with running, boxing, skills and things like that, so we've been terribly pleased.
In the Carlton room, it was a different story from coach Robert Walls. Robbie, you must be disappointed.
Yeah, we didn't play well today. It wasn't a good final practice match for us, but it does give us a lot to work on, because our last 2 games we've lost, and obviously we've got a bit of homework to do, and our approach today I thought was rather disappointing, because there just didn't seem to be much life there, and looking at the game it was pretty lifeless.
What do you think exactly went wrong?
Well, I don't know what exactly went wrong. I thought our skills for a start were woeful. Many times we had the ball and under no pressure our hand and foot disposal was inaccurate, and we virtually handed the ball back to the opposition.
Any injury worries?
I think Ken Hunter's torn a calf muscle, so he'll probably miss a few weeks.
Any particular players you'd criticise?
Well, I think that we only had a couple who really had a good hard go at it for the day, so if you start criticising players, we'll be here for a long time. You know, it was just one of those days where we only had a few who I think could hold their head up after that performance.
The Swans, quiet please gentlemen, the Swans too good for Carlton. Crackers, you yesterday went out and saw Fitzroy do battle with Collingwood. Did Fitzroy impress you?
Footscray.
The Footscray.
Yes, they
yeah.
certainly did. They got going. Simon the Pieman, he's kicked about 6 or 7. They were terribly impressive. Richard Cusson as centre half forward, and Collingwood had about 10 players out, and they played kids.
They played their youngsters, didn't they, in the last quarter?
Yes, they did, and they brought a kid up from the under-19s who played in the under-19 seconds, half a game in the seconds, and then played half a game in the first. But one
meteoric rise.
Yes, one of the funniest blokes I've ever seen was Frankie Regolo, axed from Melbourne on Wednesday, trained with Collingwood on Thursday, and there he runs out for Footscray on Saturday. So he would be a past player at 3 clubs now, wouldn't he?
That's Frankie Regolio, isn't it?
Yeah.
Regolo,
is it?
yeah.
No,
Joe, I know-
that's Joe's brother.
Yeah. I know you've had your finger on the pulse and
Well,
been
I
gathering
have.
all the new snippets. What have you got?
Nothing.
Oh.
And I've been flat out doing that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just reminisce for a moment, and a couple of the funny times that you go back over the years. You've got some classic stories, haven't you?
Well, we have, and of course Jack Dyer was in a lot of those. I'll never forget going up to Swan Hill with Jack. Case had sent us up. We went to Horsham to do a sports show. It was a bit of a publicity stunt for World of Sport, and they were tickled pink with the show, and we had to go back to the airport on the morning after. It was the Monday morning, and they gave us a car to go down to the airport. And when we were driving down the main street of Horsham, all the people were lined on the side of the street cheering up. And when we got back, Case said, how'd the show go? And Jack said, tremendous. He said, it was a fantastic success. They even gave us a motor arcade. How about that? And another time I went away with Jack and we're at Swan Hill. And I didn't have a comb in my, at the time. And so I knocked on Jack's motel door and I said to Jack, Jack, he came out, he said, you haven't got a comb, have you? He said, no. He said, you've got to improvise when you haven't got a comb.
So what did he suggest?
So he handed me a fork. Now, have you ever tried to comb your hair with a fork? It's just about impossible. And
one of the stories I love, Louis, it concerns Neil Roberts in the champion kick. And I believe one particular kick, he's standing there diligently and everyone is watching the ball being kicked, and then you've got to stand by to measure it and everything. Well, he forgot where he was, went out and marked the ball.
Well, what happened? John Nichols, old crystalliser, used to stare at you, you know. It terrified everybody.
Terrified me for years.
Well, it did, and Nichols had this tremendous kicking championship kick and kicked it about 70 metres right through the middle of the goal. On this particular day, Roberts was filling in for Bob Davis, because Bob Davis used to pick up the ball after it landed.
Right.
Anyway, Roberts, being an ex-Brownlow medalist, couldn't resist, and as Nichols kicked the ball, went through the goals, Roberts took the best mark he's ever taken in his life. And I could hear Casey yelling out in the background, leave it go, you dopey so-and-so, let it go, let it go. And Roberts didn't, and he caught it, of course, and he said, what'll I do? I said, I'd get off the ground quickly, because that was John Nichols's kick. And that was one of the, well, there were a million things we did funny here, or wrong things, but they were great for the show.
We got more time to reminisce a little bit later on. Crackers, any more news? You saw some South Australians, didn't you, in action?
Yeah, Grant Filkey played quite well. He played very well the week before against Fitzroy. Played quite well yesterday. He'll be an asset. Richard Cussons, the big fella from Central Districts that Cowboy Neil coached, good player. Number 2, looks like he moved all right, and I would say that he'll be a real asset. I don't think he's cost $270,000, a little bit shorter than that, but the other news is a bloke called David Robinson, who is North Adelaide's super footballer, looks like coming to Collingwood.
He's up at training for the Stawell Gift, isn't he?
Oh, you like to give it away,
Can I just ask someone else to pop in and say a quick hello?
Here's me
Jack Hamilton. Jack, welcome back.
Yes, well, I'm really here on the Commonwealth unemployment, just to sign up some new recruits.
Well, Jack, at the moment I've been signed up as president of the SAC TV Commentators Association. There's space there as social secretary, if you like.
Well, Barry Jones has approached me on that Price Watch committee.
Oh, yeah.
You and I could do Safeways at 2.
Well, that's right. Jack's always down. Listen, Jack, and can I ask you another very personal question? Jack was dressed up to kill people the other day. Looked magnificent with all his Gucci gear, white. And I looked down, he's got a pair of white shoes on, but he's wearing socks. And I said, Jack, that's not the fashion. You don't wear socks. So Jack doesn't wear socks now. And he goes out to a dinner the other night with a dinner suit on, and his wife said, you haven't got your socks. And he said, Louis said, you'd never wear your socks if you come
Actually, what's he got on today?
No socks.
Oh, no.
How about that? You're with them, proud of you, Jack. They'll love you in 2-racket Safeways, Jack.
Good luck, Lou.
Tomatoes, too.
Thank you, Jack.
Sandy, I don't look like him, do I?
Not yet.
Jack
Hamilton joining us on
Crackers, you're
World Sport.
unfortunate.
Quiet, you two, please. We're late enough as it is.
Crackers is unfortunate, doesn't look like anyone.
No, OK. I think on that note we'll take a break, but of course we've still got plenty to come.
Well, I'm one of those who's very sad that today is the last Sunday we'll be able to see World of Sport. I think it's probably 25 years or more that I've made it my business to see at least part of World of Sport, no matter what my commitments might have been. I've enjoyed it, and I want to thank all those who've made my Sunday that much brighter. The coverage that World of Sport has given to Melbourne and Victorian sport and world sport, I don't think can be matched anywhere else. It's football, true, but we all love football, and we want to see and hear the comments of the experts over a long period of time. We've enjoyed those comments, and thank you all very much, fellas. You've done well. I hope that there's some other outlet that we can find that would ensure that Melbourne people are able to enjoy the kind of entertainment you've given us for so many years. You've done it well. Thanks very much.
Welcome to Boronia Marine, the complete boating supermarket, with over 2 acres of boats, and more boats.
Yes, Boronia Marine have boats that are new and some great pre-loved boats with lots of fishing life for all to enjoy. You can also see a great range of outboard motors, skis, boating accessories, and yes, even a boat in the water. There's no better place to buy a boat than Boronia Marine, the complete boating supermarket, 347 Dorset Road in beautiful downtown Boronia.
Well, here's the best footy product I've seen in years, as Uncle Doug would say. These club car badges are absolutely magnificent. Chrome-plated brass frame is fully weatherproof. And look at the design, it really glitters. Specially hidden bolt mountings are supplied, and they can easily be fixed on your car grille, or they look great alongside your rear number plate. Available from clubs and selected retailers shortly, and they'll be there shortly. Write or call International Emblem Company, Post Office Box, Parkville. Don't do that, Doug. 3052, the phone number 075, and here's the number again. Mark this number down, 503588. 503588, and of course, trade inquiries are very welcome. Thank you, Doug.
Saver Passbook from Resi Statewide. Regular saving could make you rich. Watch $50 a week grow to $41,000 tax-free after 10 years. The Tax Saver Passbook from Resi Statewide.
The lion is out on the prowl. We've got the muscle and the strength right now. There's more power than before in our world-class Commodore. Have you seen the way that Holden's looking now?
Look at Holden's unbeatable 4-cylinder range. Barina, Australia's most economical 5-door wonder. Astra, the clever hatch that's packed with features. Chimera, the most economical car in its class. And Commodore, Australia's best performing family car. The stunning European design Piazza. And Calais, Australia's first luxury turbo.
Now we've got the power, we've hit our stride. We've always had the value.
But now we've got the pride.
Welcome back to our final edition of World of Sport, and don't forget next Sunday too. I hope you can stay with us as Sports World begins a new era from 9 o'clock here on Channel 7. Back to football, and the Melbourne Football Club certainly look to be going places this season. Their recruiting drive appears at this stage to have paid handsome dividends. One in particular has been most impressive in his debut, coming over from Western Australia, and I'm speaking of Earl Spalding, as we welcome him to our World of Sport studios. He just got in the nick of time, but here he is talking with another great stayer, Crackers.
Well, congratulations, Earl, and well, first of all, turning up in Victoria, and you're a great game last week against Hawthorn.
Yeah, thanks, Crackers. Yeah, we're pretty happy with the win. It's a good start, but there's still a long way to go in the year yet, and we're not getting too excited yet. There's still a long way.
No, I know that. Now, where'd you originally come from? Western Australia, what club?
From Perth Football Club over there.
Who coached you last year?
Mal Brown was the coach there.
That would have been a sort of a cultural experience, wouldn't it?
It was, yeah, to say the least, yes.
How many games did you play over there?
Played 63 with Perth.
Now, you're a little bit of a two-sided sportsman because you're a Shield cricketer for Western Australia.
Ex-Shield cricketer, yeah.
I suppose.
Played 4 games about 2 years ago, too.
And have you decided to play cricket over here at all?
Not yet. No, I might have a bowl next season. Just have to see how things go.
Now, on Tuesday night when you lined up against Hawthorn, you had probably one of the most, and you lined up at centre half back. Is that a position you like?
I don't mind it. I haven't played much there over the last few years, but
where do you usually play there?
Centre half forward.
Centre half forward, and you lined up on Dermot Brereton on Tuesday night. Supposedly, he had his green boots on. It was St. Patrick's Day. Were you overawed by him?
Not really. I just tried to put my mind to the fact that I had to nullify him because he's such a good player. But I wouldn't say overawed, no.
Were you glad that he was taken off the ground?
Yeah, I did sigh a bit of a relief there when he went off. Yeah.
How many opponents did you have on the night?
I tried... When he went off, Lester Smith came on and he shifted a bit further down the ground, I think, and Dipper came up to centre forward. But he went back to the back pocket and they put another bloke on in the last quarter.
So you're quite happy with your form now? I know a little bloke called Warren Dean came over with you from Western Australia, and he got 4 or 5, didn't he?
Kicked 4, I think, yeah.
You played a bit of him over in Perth?
Played against him a few times, yeah.
Had you actually played on him?
Yeah, we played on him last year, the first game we played on him, yeah. He's a good player.
Well, where do you envisage playing this year? At centre-half back all year, or trying to get at centre-half forward?
I'm happy just playing anywhere, really. Centre-half back, if I fit in there, well, I'm happy playing there, yeah.
Well, you made a tremendous debut. There was a big rap on you. Just keep it going, because what we saw on Tuesday night, if you can keep on that form, you're going to help Melbourne Football Club climb right up the ladder.
Yeah, we're hoping for big things this year, thanks.
Right, thanks very much.
Well, from the moment the Sydney Swans decided to move to Sydney, there has been nothing but...
And we'll be back with him in just a moment. Isn't it amazing? Actually, what we did, we told Bobby to hurry it up, and he just went a little too quickly.
Look how Alcan changed this family's way of life. You can cheer up your home and gain extra living space by adding an Alcan patio extension. Add a rumpus room, a sunny sitting room, an indoor-outdoor area you can fill with plants. Your whole lifestyle can change so simply and so quickly with one of Alcan's creative ideas.
Cheer up your house with Alcan. Get rid of the homesick blues.
Call Alcan now for full details.
We're good deal Toyota dealers. We're a good deal above the rest.
Rosebud's known as a pretty spot. When it comes to deals, they're really hot.
Sailor's Corona sedan. Goosey Goose, he's your man.
Yarra Valley Toyota twins. When they talk finance, you really win.
Belgium may be out of town, but you like Cruiser won't let you down.
Toyota sets the pace. Sedans and wagons are really ace.
So sales and service, one place to be. Down at West End, where it be. Good deal Toyota dealers. We're a good deal above the rest.
Anderson's are the guys to see if you want a deal on new Camry.
A great price on Dyna trucks. Henderson Cheney, you're in luck.
At Metro, you'll be more than happy. Their sales and service are really snappy.
He's got the service, he's got the parts. When you put him on, and he's got a heart. Good deal Toyota dealers. We're a good deal above the rest.
G'day, Henry. I like getting paid cash, right here in my hand. Cash. It's the only thing you can count on.
Hurry to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get 10 pieces of chicken for just $9.50. Or 2 chicken fillet burgers for just $3.50.
The Monster Double Deal. It's enough to scare your pants off.
For once, Frederick, you're right.
I think I should at this stage thank the many, many people that have sent telegrams and well wishes to the entire team. I won't run through all of them, but just a couple that I would like to pay special tribute to because they've been so helpful to World of Sport over the years. Bob Lay and Ted Whitten and all the team from Adidas Australia, thank you for your kind thoughts. To Peter Mills from Western Australia, thank you too, Peter, for your message. Mike Fraser, a number of others, but to everyone who has sent their good wishes and many thanks, we certainly thank you too. John Curry is another one. Of course, his company, Westpac, have been deeply involved with the World of Sport panel for a number of years. John, thanks for your thoughts. Well, another man that goes back to 1959 as far as World of Sport's concerned. In fact, you missed the first couple of weeks, didn't you, Billy?
Yes, I missed it early. It was on the Saturday morning and it clashed with 3DB's program, but they changed the time and I joined it on Saturdays and then went into Sundays. Long, long time ago, Sandy.
It's a sad old day for you as well today.
Oh, yes, it is a sad old day, but I've seen a few sink, sunny side ups and one thing and another. But anyway, let's hope that things are going to be excellent in the future.
Let's certainly hope so. Let's talk racing now, Bill. It's a big day yesterday.
It was a big day. The track was in excellent condition again at Flemington. We saw some good racing there, and we'll have a look at the results of the first three. The steeple went to Sing for Supper at 13-4, Ratomo King 3's favourite, and My Hutch at 4-1 third. Second race went to Lord Westminster at 6-1, Square Deal second at 8s, and Sister Shirley third at 7s. Tristagal, the favourite, a little bit disappointing at 9-4. Race 3 went to the Colin Hayes trained Hot Shoes, 2-1 favourite, from Whisket 5-2, It's Worth Following, and Regal Ballerina third at 50-1. The fourth race was the Duke of Norfolk Stakes, the 2-miler, and Rising Fear was equal favourite in this event with Trade Line and behind them Pegger McGuess. They were the three the public wanted.
Rising Fear, hard ridden, a length and a half away from Pegger McGuess. Then Lord Julian running on. They're after Trade Line now. Bobby Skelton starts to ride hard on Rising Fear. He tackles Trade Line and Pegger McGuess comes at them. Then Mandador. Pegger McGuess went up to make a line of 3 and might be doing better. Rising Fear's fighting back. Pegger McGuess a half length, now a length in front. It's going to win. And Pegger McGuess draws away to win a little over a length, or maybe a length on the line, Rising Fear. A next to Trade Line third.
And the winner there, Pegger McGuess, 4-1, Rising Fear and Trade Line, the 2-1 equal favourites. All had every chance. Trade Line did pull a little bit hard, and it's one I suggest you keep following. Caledonian Planet, top favourite in the next.
In the straight, Touch of Genius led about 3 parts. Gorilla now hard ridden. Caledonian Boy well and truly pocketed. Dowie on the outside under the whip. Caledonian Boy trying to get out, and then Bullion Broker, Man Hours, and Jewel Planet under the whip. Gorilla took the lead. Struggling a little bit now is Dowie. Trying to get out is Man Hours, Jewel Planet, and Bullion Broker. Bullion Broker letting go with Jewel Planet, a brace to the lead. Bullion Broker just in front. Jewel Planet pegging it back. Won't make it. Bullion Broker's won it, a nose to Jewel Planet, half a length to Man Hours third.
Real thriller, short half-head victory to Bullion Broker at 12s from Jewel Planet 11-4, Man Hours 8's favourite Caledonian Boy disappointing, as was Dowie. And we'll take this break and then we'll be back to have a look at the final races.
Melbourne without World of Sport, it's unimaginable. It's like toast without marmalade. How are we going to find out on Sunday what Wayne Schimmelbusch and John Kennedy thought about North Melbourne's game? Well, we'll be back after the break.
Down through the decades, Worrells of Toorak have been authorized to sell and service Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz from Worrells of Toorak.
Harrigan spells Harrigan. Beauty, eh? Yes, it's Harrigan's Hotel, the old Prospect Hill, now Harrigan's. And here's why. Great friendly atmosphere, the place to meet, eat and greet. You'll love it as I did. Yes, food all day, quality table service, and the food, fantastic. Harrigan's, open every day for lunch and dinner. Harrigan's, 299 High Street Q, telephone bookings 862-3055.
Never before has there been an Australian drama with such an exceptional cast. John Wood of The Challenge, Simon Childers of Cowra Breakout, Catherine Wilkin, The Great Bookie Robbery, Archie Michael, A Country Practice, Terry Serio of Shout, and guest stars like Debbie Byrne in her first dramatic role, and John English in his greatest screen triumph since Against the Wind. The show is Rafferty's Rules. Starts Thursday, 7:30 on 7.
And we're with racing. We're up to the third leg of the quadrilla. The favourite was True Beauty.
In the straight, English Charm found its second win, kicked about 2 in front. Friar's Delight starting to run on well from Happy View. Happy Fighters well gone. They were followed then by Cropley Road under the whip. True Beauty trying to bullock out, and Honora Elvira coming with a strong run from a long way back. With 200 to go now, and Friar's Delight got to the lead. Honora Elvira and True Beauty out after it on the outside. True Beauty flying out after Friar's Delight, who hangs in. True Beauty grabs it and wins. True Beauty's got up the win from Friar's Delight on Honora Elvira.
True Beauty 11-4 favourite, good effort. Friar's Delight 12s, Honora Elvira third at 12-1. Cameronic the favourite in the last leg of the quadrilla.
Cameronic bounced away at the 400, led a length and a half to Kiskin, then around the tan, followed by Warned on the outside from Silver Shark. Bronze Knight, Benefactor under the whip, doing nothing from Tim's Gambler. Cameronic still in front, he's kicked away again. Kiskin trying hard on the outside, but Cameronic hands and heels are 3/4 of a length in front. He's holding Kiskin near the line, and Cameronic's going to win about a half-length Kiskin. 3 lengths to Bronze Knight third from Silver Shark.
Good effort, Cameronic, 5-2 favourite. Kiskin 16s and Bronze Knight at 7-1. The final event on the programme, and the Highlands once again completing a treble. Father and son, Major Drive at 13-4, defeating I'm a Red Man 9-4 favourite, and Catavo at 12-1. The extra in Melbourne for 5 and 3, 18.55. Daily double 3 and 1, $43.70. And the quadrella double 3, double 1, $791.90. In Sydney, the extra 1 and 11, $7.60. The daily double, a pair of 8s, $15.60. And the quadrella, 3 8s and a 3, $178. Now the extra in Adelaide for 8 and 1, $25.75. Daily double 2 and 4, $17.25. The daily in Brisbane, 6 and 10, $34.50. The extra at Maui, 1 and 2, $18.80. The daily double 2 and 4, $36. The quadrella 2, 1, 4, 2, $1,061.40. Don't forget Sandown race on Tuesday. You've been watching Racing Through the Eyes of Channel 7 cameras, and I hope we have the pleasure of your company again next Sunday morning for racing.
Well, it's good to be back. Obviously, things have happened since I've been away for a couple of weeks. However, yes, it is.
Things have changed a bit, Ron.
Good on you, darling.
Oh, dear. Well, go and do it. Go on. Might as well do it now.
Gee, I obviously need makeup very badly.
For only $4,998 with your $1,000 minimum trade-in, you can have a pre-owned Ford sedan like this or a Commodore sedan like this. I'll trade your old car for $1,000, which means you pay only $49.98. That's right, $4,998. Finance is no problem, and remember we're open 6 days a week, including all day Saturday. So see me soon at Barry Connell Southern Motors, where all my cars are bargain priced.
Monday night on Day by Day, who wants to be an engine driver?
Mum, look at those kids. Aren't they silly?
A lot of concentration involved in driving a train. You know, it gives the impression that you're sitting up there nice and relaxed, and you're always subconsciously alert to something out of the ordinary.
That's Monday night on Day by Day.
Don't forget, of course, 7 National News comes your way tonight at 6 o'clock, and I think to find out what's making news now, let's welcome to World of Sport, the newsroom, for the final time, and Sally Young. Welcome, Sal.
Thanks, Sandy. Good afternoon. State Opposition Leader Jeff Kennett says the Liberal Party's win in yesterday's Central Highlands by-election spells an end to the Cain government's reign. Liberal candidate Marie Tien had won about 43% of the vote when counting ended last night. Mr Kennett has claimed a 9% swing away from the Labor Party and says Premier Cain's days in office are numbered.
The Labor Party's primary vote tonight has fallen by at least 9%. It is quite clear that at the next state election we will win in our own right.
But Mr Cain puts the swing away from the ALP at much less than 9%, and he says he has no reason to be concerned about his party's showing in the by-election, but says Jeff Kennett should be worried.
Well, I think he's got grave cause for concern if he's satisfied with that. I mean, his political judgment has always been suspect. He ought to be receiving something in the order of 6 to 8% by way of a swing, if he had any chance at all.
Overseas and in Corsica, at least 54 bombs have exploded a day before the French islands' elections. Police suspect the bombs were planted by Corsicans fighting for independence from France. 4 people have been killed and 37 injured in a massive pile-up on a fog-shrouded bridge in Louisiana. There were 9 separate accidents and dozens of cars and trucks wrecked. Closer to home, and a 23-year-old St Albans man died after being crushed between 2 cars in a bizarre accident at Werribee overnight. Hussein was attaching a tow rope between his broken-down car and a friend's car when a third vehicle slammed into his car. And a fire at the Ashburton Primary School has destroyed a portable storage room and caused $20,000 damage. Police say there are suspicious circumstances. Melbourne's weather showers clearing and an expected top of 18 degrees. Currently it's 15. Mel Walden will have all the news tonight at 6 o'clock.
From the heart of Melbourne, news at a time that suits you. 6:30 weekdays, 6 o'clock weekends. Mal Walden and 7 National News.
Send this one, please, Trish.
Couriers are all pretty much the same. They all pick up and deliver.
Roger, front desk, please.
Pretty well everywhere. Express courier is just like other couriers, except that on most jobs they cost a little less. So, using express courier just once won't save you a fortune. But who uses a courier just once? Express courier from Australia Post. We deliver.
And pick up and deliver and pick up and deliver and pick up and deliver.
There's only one unleaded petrol that breaks new ground, that breaks free. New Shell Ultra.
This program is brought to you by Shell Ultra, high-octane unleaded petrol.
There's certainly been plenty of gloom and doom surrounding the sport of motor racing in recent weeks, what with the Peter Brock affair, but there is some good news to come out of it. The World Touring Car Championships are about to get underway. Alan Moffat and the boys are certainly in there with a big chance too. It's been good news this week as far as sponsorship is concerned, and their car is raring to go. Let's take this report from Neil Cromden.
Monza, the Italian battleground of speed, traditionally kicks off the continental tin-top circus. Later tonight, touring cars come of age when the inaugural World Touring Car Championship is launched at the circuit through the parks. Formula One has in the past been the big draw card at venues like this, but now the spotlight will be readjusted. Even some of the big names like Lauda and Patrese are swapping wind in the face for wind-up windows. Late last week, Alan Moffat and John Harvey announced they would tackle the big time head-on tonight by rubbing shoulders with the world's best.
Well, in the top 10, and Neil, we're not as fast as we would have liked to have been, but in the circumstances where we only were able to bring over 24 tires, we brought 24 race tires and no qualifiers, and we went from last night from 2nd to 9th very quickly once the opposition slipped on their qualifying tires. And the difference between a race time and a qualifying time is between 2.5 and 3 seconds, and that's exactly what happened to us.
Nevertheless, are you very happy about the way the car's set up for the 500-kilometre race?
Yes, I am, and I'm extremely happy that we've already done 600 kilometres, and the motor's just running fine. Chassis is as good as we can get it. Tires are wearing extremely well. We had a slight brake problem this afternoon when we put our brand new brakes on. They just didn't bed themselves in properly, so we did a quick change on that and got back on the pace. And apart from that slight fuel pickup problem yesterday, we're in the hunt. We're going as fast with a full tank of gas as a lot of them are able to qualify.
Alan, how do your times in practice yesterday compare with last year at Monza with Peter Brock?
Well, I'm personally faster in the car by about 6 seconds, but we're just about 1 second slower than Peter qualifying, but bear in mind the difference you have with qualifying tires. So actually the car is considerably faster, and the opening race times were 2:05 last year, and we see a race time with a full load of gas being about a 2:01. So it's between 4 and 5 seconds quicker in terms of what's going to take place in the race.
I believe there were some dramas at scrutineering yesterday with the Eggenberger Ford Sierras.
Well, they rolled into the scrutineering bay, and the scrutineer said, what are you doing with that? And they said, well, that's what we've been running for the last 6 months. And they said, well, you're not running it for the next 6 months. And whether they elected not to fix it or what, put the cars in the truck and went back to Switzerland.
Alan, all the very best of luck to you and John, and everybody at 7 Motorsport wishes you well.
Thank you kindly, and glad to be reporting to you 12,000 miles away.
This program was brought to you by Shell Ultra, high-octane unleaded petrol.
Shell announce a breakthrough. The first high-performance unleaded petrol. Break free. New Shell Ultra High. The first high-octane, high-performance unleaded petrol.
Monday.
Andy,
Tell Dad what you gave me this morning.
Power of attorney.
It's Alex Peakeaton, legal advisor.
Little guide here. Help you with your preparation. Burying your parents for profit.
Family Ties, followed by Melbourne's favourite visitor.
Certainly.
It's Alf, the beautician.
Now I want you to suck in those cheeks real tight, like this.
Alf, straight after Family Ties, Monday on 7.
Welcome back to World of Sport. I've just been sent out the back, actually, where there are an enormous number of lies being told at the moment. A lot of reminiscing, a lot of nostalgia. Dear old Doug Ring, come over.
Questions on a Saturday morning, eh?
Sorry, Doug. Well, we're just having a chat over here. Welcome back. And
nice to be here.
A day of nostalgia for you, no doubt.
Ah, tremendous. Tremendous, yeah.
What are your fondest memories, Doug, of the program?
Well, I think one of the funniest memories I have is I interviewed Ben Barnett, an Australian wicketkeeper in the 30s.
Right.
And I mentioned in the course of a discussion, which ranged over a number of things, because he'd been the international lawn tennis rep in London, that he had a number of card tricks.
Right.
And I said, could you do a few? And he said, well, we'd have to have a pack of cards. And in a flash, Bill Collins produced a pack from his pocket. And I'll never forget that.
Doug, it's good to see you back here today, enjoying the hospitality and no doubt telling a few white lies and having a bit of fun.
A slight exaggeration.
A slight exaggeration is the phrase I was looking for.
Nice
Thank you, Doug. Now, I think we've got the Beat the Champ boys somewhere. Where are the champs? Remember Beat the Champ? Well, gentlemen, how far back do we go for Beat the Champ?
Well, actually, Beat the Champ, I think, started almost with the show about 1960 and went through a few minor changes. Finished up being the panel show that it was when it went off in 1976.
Well, I have certainly seen all of you, I think, in 25 years of World of Sport and perhaps other associated programs. How tough was it in Beat the Champ?
Pretty tough, I tell you, when you got up against these two chaps here. Oh, I think they were the two toughest men I've had to go at.
Well, what sort of homework and preparation did you put into the contest?
Oh, it was very time consuming, Sandy. I don't know about the other guys, but I certainly had a book on each sport, and it was chock-a-block full of cuttings and clippings and notes of odd events that happened here and there and going back 40, 50, 60 years ago.
Well, do you all still follow the various sports and try and keep your hand in knowing everything about each sport and keeping your knowledge level up?
To a certain extent, yes. I mean, not with the same intensity as in those competitive days, but, oh yes, yeah, just as interested as ever.
Well, look, your knowledge level may drop as the afternoon progresses, because I know there's going to be a bit of fun this afternoon, but thank you for rejoining us on World of Sport, and thank you for the entertainment that you gave the people of Melbourne over many, many years.
No worries, Sam.
Beat the Champ team, and it's good to see them back here in the World of Sport studios. Speaking of the studio, we might leave the luncheon. That looks magnificent, doesn't it? Look at this. They've put on these magnificent beef on the spit and pork on the spit and everything. But we'll leave that for a moment. Let's go back to our studio, because I'm sure Rick Patterson has some cycling news. Rick?
Thanks, Andy. Well, the Australian Amateur Cycling Championships kicked off last night at the Chandler Velodrome, the scene of the Commonwealth Games in Brisbane, and it was seen as an open affair this year. There was no Dean Woods, no Martin Vinicombe and no Gary Newand. The Victorians had all turned professional, and it looked like there wasn't going to be a medal for the Victorian squad, but it was a bit of a turn-up. In the women's scratch race, Cara Moody won. Darren King won the men's 20-kilometre scratch race, and also David Maltby was first across the line in the 30-kilometre points race. And we might just have a look at some of those results. There's the juvenile 500-metre time trial champ, David Bink from New South Wales, in a pretty tidy time of 35 and 99 hundredths of a second. Second was Simon Calder, and in third place was Shane Kelly, one of the Kelly family from Victoria. Next up was the women's 10-kilometre scratch race. First, as I said before, was Cara Moody from Victoria. Second was Marissa Gorey from Queensland. And third was another Victorian, Michelle Collier. The senior 20k scratch race, Darren King took on all the stars and was first across the line there. He's carried on the Victorian tradition that's Stephen Pate's created over the last few years of winning the scratch race. Second was Shane Holmes from South Australia, an unknown. I don't really know much about Shane at all. and third was an old stager from Queensland, Mark Victor, and that was run in 23, 42 and 46 100ths, which is the fastest time that race has ever been run. And I've got with us, well, before I've got with anyone with me, I've got the junior 30k point scorer, and Dave Maltby from Victoria won that on 33. Second was Andrew McGee from New South Wales on 31, and again Mark Victor was 26 points and third. Last year's winner of the 20k scratch race and the champion of champions at the Launceston Velodrome, the selection trials for the Commonwealth Games, was Steve Pate, and he last week at Whyalla was able to make it a double, champion of champions in professional ranks, and I've been lucky enough to get Steve off the rollers where he didn't do quite so good today, and have a talk to us here today. Thanks for coming in, Steve. 4 Australian Championships, well, it's obviously a big thrill.
Yeah, I was very happy with that, Rick. I sort of surprised myself in a way because I hadn't done the training that I would have liked to, so...
Well, you were knocked off a bike off your bike in December last year, just before the Tasmanian Carnivals.
Yeah, just before Christmas I was knocked off. The day before I was meant to go to Tasmania, and it really put my preparation down a lot, and so it's sort of fairly good for me.
Well, you really didn't strike form till you got to Bendigo about 3 weeks ago, and you cleaned up there.
Yeah, I sort of started, I rode the 6th day in February, and it sort of brought me form up, and by the time I made Bendigo I was hitting form again, and then at Whyalla it just sort of all come to me.
Well, you said to me before the Whyalla Australian Championships that you hadn't been training very much. How do you win 4 Australian titles without training?
Well, it's sort of, I hadn't dedicated myself as much as last year. I was sort of, my training program was mucked up a fair bit through the accident and that. So, you know, the training that I'd done, I was happy to win the titles because it wasn't as much as what I would have liked to have done.
Well, you've been, I noticed when they introduced you on the roller cycling segment, you were touted as Australia's next world champion. How do you think about that title?
Well, that's my next thing I'm out after, and I'll be given 100%, and hopefully I can do all right, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, it'll be great to see. Stephen, as you probably all know, didn't get a Guernsey at the Commonwealth Games and is definitely Australia's best track cyclist, and I'd love to see him win a world championship. So that's all from cycling, and I feel a bit like the last passenger to get a ticket on the Titanic here, and goodbye for it.
I guess I, like many Victorians, will be very sad to see the demise of World of Sport. For many reasons. It's been here with me for most of my life, but importantly I think we're going to miss the dulcet tones of those great luminaries like Lou Richards, etc. But I guess we shouldn't be too depressed. Out of all change I'm sure something good will come, and we'll just have to now hold our breath and look forward to see how Channel 7 fills the void that will be very real and properly left by the decision to retire World of Sport from Channel 7.
How does an Avis girl handle fame?
When I did the TV ad, I really didn't know what to expect. All my friends ribbed me, but Avis ran out of lasers, so here I am again. And the Super Saver rates still apply. Rent for 3 days or more, and you can get up to 30% off our normal rates. So a Ford Laser can drop to as low as $33 a day. If you can get better than that, you can have my shirt. See? I've still got it.
While some of us in small business cling to the old ways of doing business, others have found a better way to close the sale. Get on the phone and get on with business.
Four things come not back: the spoken word, the sped arrow, time past, the neglected opportunity.
Capita, a dynamic investment and insurance group, and City Mutual's new name.
Some irons have a shot of steam button, and that's about as far as they go. Other irons are light for easy maneuverability, but that's about their limit. Some irons have a non-stick surface, and that's where they get stuck, while others have a fine spray dampener and stop about there. It took Cambrook to think of the cordless iron, and Maya to offer it to you at a special price at all stores.
See you
TNT Sports Action today here on World of Sport, and well, earlier in the program we saw a most unusual feat with Alan Dipple taking out the World of Sport Roller Cycling Championship for the 3rd consecutive year. Well, here's another great feat, 2 wins in a row in a most unusual race.
It probably would have become the moment Susan Butcher would look back and shiver just a little bit if she knew how close her fiercest rival, Rick Swenson, had come to her in the final miles of the tortuous Iditarod. But in the deep night of the Yukon, she could not see a light, and so she stopped to feed her dogs.
I stopped and snacked him for about 15 minutes because I could never see his light, and I finally decided to take the gamble and think maybe he wasn't there and go ahead and snack him because that was best for my dogs. So I did that and got off of the snack and was moving down the trail and turned around, and he had to flip it on for a second to see something, so I knew he was there.
And when she knew and needed a final run from Maddie and Granny, her 2 lead dogs, she had only to ask.
I just asked them for a little bit. They didn't know why. You know, there we were at Topcock. They knew that safety was a long ways off, but they know what competition's about, and they just went for it. And pretty soon he was back about 20 minutes again, and we were okay.
Okay is hardly the word. Susan Butcher and her 9-dog team won this 1,100-mile race from Anchorage to Nome for the 2nd straight year, 13 hours faster than her 1986 record. Only the 2nd musher in the history of this race to win more than 1 time. The other, Rick Swenson, who watched her pull away during the final night and conceded her $50,000 victory 22 miles from the finish line on Front Street in downtown Nome. As her team fell asleep in the 10-degree weather, Butcher said then she would take a week off and begin training a team for 1989.
And there's no truth in the rumour that she rang in Dancer and Prancer. The Iditarod, TNT Sports Action on World of Sport.
TNT Roadfast is the specialist road freight division of the TNT Group, Australia's largest commercial transport operator. TNT has the manpower, the truck power, to ensure delivery on time, anytime, anywhere. I mean anywhere. General freight, any weight, anywhere. TNT Roadfast, 4,000 trucks, 2 million tons, 30 million kilometers a year. TNT at your service on 689-3355. TNT, the heavyweight in road freight.
This is my wife, Cheryl, and this here is my new ARC do-it-yourself fence. It don't look much now, but here, you just watch.
There are 5 gorgeous styles of ARC do-it-yourself fence at just $15 per metre. We save buckets of money. Of course, if you're not an athlete, like my Eric, ARC could get it done for you for just a few extra bucks.
Now you tell me. Anyway, call ARC right now.
Over 2 nights, the incredible true story of the woman who ordered her son to kill his grandfather.
You might know someone who would be able to do away with someone.
Stephanie Powers is the millionaire's daughter, New York socialite and patron of the arts.
You gotta come now, Mom's locked up in the bathroom again. I'm going to kill myself.
The woman too hungry to wait for her inheritance.
You know what I really want? That's all, just stealing, okay? Nothing else.
The mother, obsessed with power, money, and murder.
Oh, I'm not putting up with this. I want to change my will.
There's gonna be trouble.
For the first terrifying time on television.
Doors can open and doors can close.
The Bazaar at Mother's Request, Tuesday and Wednesday on 7.
Welcome back, G. Some great champions have assembled in our World of Sport studios today, and we've just found, you're quite right, EJ, we've just found a great champion. Yes, you're making enough noise, Ted, thank you. Merv Lincoln, who looked after our athletics segment on World of Sport for 19 years, from 1961 till 1980. Welcome back, Merv.
Thank you very much, Sandy. It's very nice to be here.
You must have interviewed all the great stars, both from Australia and internationally. Tell us some of the names that you had the opportunity of talking with.
Well, I started on World of Sport in 1961, and I was very fortunate because Ron Clark was just then starting on his record, world record breaking spree.
Right.
And it was very exciting, of course, to be following Ron's career. I was very fortunate to be associated with the man who became the first professional to run the mile in under 4 minutes, Harry Downs. The great New Zealand runners, Murray Hultberg, Peter Snell, some of the old-timers like even Roger Bannister. But I think one of the highlights of my long career on World of Sport was covering 16 consecutive Stawell Gifts. and Ron Casey and I would drive up and back on the Saturday, have World of Sport on the Sunday, and quite often we'd take Lou Richards or somebody up on the Monday for the final and come back often quite late of a night.
I bet it was a lovely 3 days too.
They were a great time, very tiring but very enjoyable. Yes.
It's great to see you back here, and I'm sure you'll be able to reminisce and have a good old chin wag with a number of the other guests that are in our studios today.
Good, thank you very much, Sam.
Good luck in the future. And speaking of athletics, let's go to the man who is currently looking after athletics on World of Sport, Trevor Vincent. Trevor?
Today my special guest on World of Sport is one of Australia's best known Olympians. He competed in the '84 Olympics and he is now setting his sights on pro ranks with a Stawell Gift in mind. It's Peter Van Miltenburg. Welcome to the show, Pete.
Good morning.
Pete, 29 years of age, you're almost the old man of athletics. What keeps you going?
Just incentives within athletics itself. Meets that come up, which with the professional running, which has given me a greater incentive to go on, and trips overseas, basically, which means you get to compete against the best in the world.
Right, well, Stawell Gift coming up very soon. We've got some film that we might run if we can, but what I think is one of the greatest things in pro running is to see the back markers come through. Now we're looking here at the '75 Stawell Gift when Ravello came through. Do you think a back marker can win it this year, Pete?
I think it depends on what everybody else is off. If the back marker's off 1.5, then they possibly could come through, but with Ravello off scratch, it'll be very hard to see anybody running as fast as he was. As he said himself, he was at the peak of his condition and running about 10 dead.
This was '77 when Warren Edmondson won off, I think, 1.5 metres, so it certainly can be done. This year, actually, we could have 6 to 8 runners off the scratch mark or close to scratch.
Yes, there will be quite a few athletes off scratch mark, depending on how many amateurs actually will be running. And we'll see quite a good series of athletic performances if they have that mark, depending, once again, on the markers that are off about, say, 4 to 5 metres, how well they're going to be coming up for a stall.
Right, well, actually we heard yesterday that, and this is a little bit controversial, you say, that Valerie Brisco Hooks has got 6.5 metres, perhaps a metre more than people thought she might get.
Yes, I was at Yarrawonga yesterday running the Barrowmine Gift, and when it was announced, in fact, most of the professional athletes were in uproar about it because she hasn't run in Australia and won't before stall, and most people thought she should be off the novice mark, which, you know, I seem that that's a general consensus of opinion. She should be off that.
Well, the same. I don't think she can win off 6.5. It just, I think the point is that there are a number of runners that are behind her that she can beat quite comfortably.
Yes, well, I've got a young lad that I train with, in fact, who's run slower than Valerie Brisco Hooks, and she'll be in front of him at stall. So the handicapper seems to be very inconsistent at this time, and with Mark putting me back to scratch, he's in fact saying, more or less, that I'm faster than Edmondson and that I'm as fast as Ravello, putting me off scratch. So that's quite an interesting. I'm very flattered, actually. But we'll just have to see what mark I do get from scratch as they're being put out today.
Yeah, well, I think the best you can probably hope for is about 1/2 metre. Peter, talking about your own career, it must have been perhaps a little bit disappointing in '84 to just miss out on a medal in that 4x400. You ran in the... You didn't run the final, but you ran in the semi-final in the team, and we missed out by just a tick on a bronze medal.
Yes, I think it was an outstanding race when you consider that the 4 teams went under the 3-minute mark, and it was an Australian record. So it was disappointing, but you know, you can't say that if I'd been in it that we would have got a bronze or a silver medal. But you know, the boys really did their best. But it is disappointing, and hopefully with the World Championships this year, the 4x4 team, which I'd like to be in, if I can sort of make that standard. That I think we can do even better than that team which ran at the Olympics, I believe.
Pete, you've been a little bit, well, you've made some controversial remarks earlier this year, around Christmas time, about athlete advertising. Is there any animosity between you and the others?
I think there's always the competitiveness about it. I think the professionals at that stage who had changed over to amateur status were having their way in terms of, they were sort of pushing the system a bit, and I think they'd even admit to that. But so I sort of pushed back at them also, because there didn't seem to be any amateurs that were taking them on. So it's just a bit of a competitive nature, and you know, it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek sort of attitude, and at the same time getting the Australian Athletic Union to make a statement regarding sponsorship, which I believe we need and desperately require in athletics. But if it's going to come, it has to be done the right way, and all athletes have to realise that it's got to be done for entire athletes from junior to senior level, and not just the elitist individuals.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks very much, Pete. It's great to have you along on this, the final day of World of Sport. All the best for the rest of the year.
Thank you very much.
G'day, Peter. That was good.
We still have Miss Australia with us in Leanne Cock and Leanne Dick, I should say. And Leanne, it's going to be very interesting to, we come to the stage now, and that is, I guess, fashions on the field. And we're looking at some of the best dressed ladies that we can find here in Mount Gambier. I think what we might do is have a look at one or two of them now, and individually we'll just see exactly what they're wearing.
You've got a good mate at Tyre Power. He gives you mates rates at Tyre Power. Your mate owns a store, so he gives you more. Just round the corner at Tyre Power. Sell us another ring. Mates rates will beat the rest, holla. When it comes to saving $1, you're in luck with the bucks, whether you drive a truck, a sports car, a bus or a roller. Sell us another ring, just like the other
Where
ring.
the man who owns the store runs the store.
Just round the corner at Tyre Power.
Some irons have a shot of steam button, and that's about as far as they go. Other irons are light for easy manoeuvrability, but that's about their limit. Some irons have a non-stick surface, and that's where they get stuck, while others have a fine spray dampener and stop about there. It took Cambrook to think of the cordless iron, and Maya to offer it to you at a special price at all stores.
Monday.
Never seen such a spectacle.
On Have a Go next week, it's Balloonacy.
Do you ever get a big bang out of this?
For a well-balanced diet of music and mayhem, be watching 5:30 Monday for...
Have a go, Australia!
Welcome back to World of Sport. Actually, I'm just having a look around after that last piece of tape went to air. There must be one man that I can blame for it, and I think Billy Catmull, our tape... Would you come over here, Bill? Please come over here. I was going to reminisce with you today because I think you've done a fantastic job with our tape over many, many years, but were you responsible for that thing that went to air just then?
No, not really. We've kept that secret up there in a little posse up there, just waiting for the day.
Billy...
And it looks like the day has
arrived. People don't realise it, but Billy, the amount of work that you put in, you're in here all hours on the weekend, you monitor football games, and if it wasn't for you, we'd never have any footy highlights. So you must be, I don't know how many games you've got under your belt, but it must be a heart-wrenching day for you.
It's a very sad day, yes, it is. Yeah, but when you say it's me, it's a lot of...
oh, I know there's a lot of boys involved.
Up there, yep. Yes, and we put in hours, during the football season, hours and hours and hours. I'd say that we've seen more football games than anyone in Australia because we monitor them, and then we go up and we take them apart, and we do the segments for the marks and the goals of the day, and then we come in at about, we used to come in anyway, at about 4:30 in the morning, and then we'd do the highlights where you'd see all the rough play and the things that no one else will ever see. I don't think that anyone else will ever see them again, because they won't be able to have the people that can monitor as well as the boys upstairs and myself used to do. That sounds terrible.
No, it doesn't. You did it. You did a grand job, Billy, and on behalf of everyone, many thanks for your support over the years that I've been working with you, and I'm sure we go back to 1959 for everyone else.
Yes, and it's been a joy.
Have a pleasant afternoon, mate.
Thank you.
Just take it easy, won't you? Now, Scotty Palmer's over here, the king of... Scotty, come on, the king of punchlines. Keep on punching them out. Welcome, Scotty.
Terrific, mate.
You've been involved with sportsmen and sportswomen on World of Sport for a long, long time, so you must be feeling the same tinge that many others are.
Well, I know I am, and my mother is, because she's home crying today because her Sunday's always been taken up watching World of Sport. Jeannie, that is.
I don't know whether you saw the opener, Scotty, but I tell you what, that we had a shot of you. You have not changed a bit.
A bit fatter, I think, Sandy.
Well,
a bit fatter.
I didn't say that, but you haven't.
But it is a sad day, and but just going in there in the back room and talking to all the boys that have been part of the show for all these years, and you know, I can remember coming down here as a young reporter, a young cadet reporter, and doing a few scripts on the questions and a few of the film shots. And these guys were sort of institutions then, and they're still institutions now. And I think they will always remain institutions, Sandy. I hope so anyway.
Can I say one thing, Scotty?
Good on you, mate.
Keep punching.
I will. I'll try to anyway.
Scotty Palmer. Now, another piece of history is going to be created today because we've come used to the fact of hearing one particular phrase on World of Sport from Gus Mercurio. That, of course, is next week, Channel 7, World of Sport, more boxing. I'm afraid, Gus, You cannot say it today.
Well, you'll just have to wait to the end of this segment to find out what I am going to say. But over the years, of course, World of Sport, I'm very pleased to say I've been with World of Sport for 13 years on the boxing. And during that time, there's been some tremendous champions that have come out of Melbourne. And these champions came out of Melbourne because of what World of Sport had done, because of what TV Ringside had done, because of what Channel 7 had done. And perhaps we'll just go back a little bit to look at the champions that we had right here in Melbourne. The world champions. Let's take a look at our first. Lionel Rose.
Weaving and caught with the right hand. Comes out of the weave and scores with his own left hook. Left and left to the body by Harada. Right to the body by Harada. Rose is back on the road. Swabbing punches with the champion. Come on, Lionel. There's the call from the Australians. Left hand jab by Rose as Lionel does come on. Right to the body now by Rose. Jab by Harada. A lead by Harada. Left hook by Rose now. Jab by Rose again, and Harada missing with his right hand. Trying desperately to catch Rose with one of those hard right hand swings. Short right to the head by Rose. Rose misses with the left hook, but he's back very quickly with a left hand jab. Left and right to the body by Rose. And once again, as the bell goes for the end of the World Championship, the great athletes embrace each other. They go to the corner to wait for the decision. Morita, the other judge, scored at 72-70. And how did it feel when you got that? When you got the nod?
It's definitely Famishon on top now in the last half minute. Less than 20 seconds to go. Ten seconds. There's the bell. What a title fight it was. What a title fight. And Famishon has won the World Featherweight Championship.
And the crowd roaring for Mattioli now to come out. In round 7.
Juan Killiu, he's pretty tired too. I think Lester's playing it careful now. Just seeing out the round and 10 seconds to go.
fight. 1-4-3, Killiu. 1-4-6, Ellis.
Break. What a world championship contest this has been.
It's amazing. 25 seconds to go.
Misses with a big right hand, and the champion has lost his mouth guard. It went flying across the ring. Was it his mouth guard, or was it something else? Something went flying, but now he comes back with a couple of good punches. Good combination by... Pardon me. Approaching the end of the contest. The end of this IBF World Junior Lightweight title fight. There's the bell. It's all over. He's won it. That's two of the judges.
Won it.
Boxing 66 was highlighted by a visit to World of Sport and TV Ringside by ex-world heavyweight champion Rocky Marciano. Asked for his opinion of Clay, Marciano said,
as a heavyweight fighter, I don't really know how good he is. He has never been a hit on the chin with a good punch.
Well, there it is, of course, some of the champions that came out of World of Sport, out of Channel 7, out of TV Ringside, and of course the last picture we had there, Rocky Marciano, one of the real great champions, talking to our champion, Ron Casey. And what he did say, of course, he never got hit on the chin real well. Well, World of Sport's been hit on the chin a bit, but next Sunday, Channel 7, more boxing on Sports World.
Well, I believe that the demise of World of Sport is the greatest boost that the World Council of Churches has had. I could see their gates going up, and now it is a sad day, I think, for Melbourne sport. It's been suggested that Melbourne is a dull place in the winter. there is no doubt now it's going to be an even duller place without World of Sport.
Do you remember Aussie Sundays and how the chook was worth the wait? Well, Red Rooster does, so they cook it right to make it Sunday every day.
Australia, your chicken is ready. Australia, ready right now. Australia, your chicken is ready. Red, red, ready, red, 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 ready, red, 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 ready, red rooster.
There's a brand new power going round. Have you seen the way the Commodore's looking now? Its performance is the best. Just put it to the test. Take a Commodore out on the prowl.
Commodore is the new winner, with more power from the standard fuel-injected 6, the stunning turbo, and the gutsy V8. That's why more Australian families invest in Commodore than any other car. Drive the world-class Australian. Commodore from Holden.
Well, you know, it's been a wonderful day here at World of Sport. And my good lady, she who must be obeyed, and I are about to journey back to our little Shangri-La up on the Murray River. Well, before we go, I want to say a final au revoir to you. You'll find me coming up every now and then with a commercial. You die hard in this business, you know that. But there's one person I'd like to thank, and that's Bill Slattery at Solway Clothing. They've been with us for donkey's years. They're great people. He's a great fella, and so is his son, and they've got stores coming up all over the place for one good reason. They give the fatties and the tallies and the short and plump, they give them what they want and keep them with it. Now, don't wind me up, Kevin. This is the last ad. You can go to blazes. You'll have to cut me off. Anyway, the position is, I want to say thanks to Bill and for all he's done for World of Sport. And if you're thinking of anything for winter, go and see them. They've got the greatest array of clothing you've ever seen in your sweet life. Kevin, thank you for your indulgence. Up there, thank you also. Au revoir. If you'd like me to sing a song, I will. But goodbye, everybody.
The terrifying true story.
You might know someone who would be able to do away with someone.
Stephanie Powers is the mother who sent her son to kill his grandfather. Premiering Tuesday and Wednesday at 8:30 at Mother's Request on 7.
Still to come on World of Sport, the World of Sport panel. So I certainly hope you'll stay with us for that. We're going to be meeting some old faces, I think, in that particular segment. Time now, though, let's talk cricket, district cricket, with Keith Stackpole. Stacky?
Thanks very much, Sandy. Well, yesterday runs certainly very difficult to come by for both Melbourne and Northcote, who are participating in the semi-finals of the statewide cup. Northcote battled on pretty well at one stage, though, none for 50, lost 6 for 18 at one stage, and then ended up just over 200. So good effort by them. Down at the Albert Ground, it wasn't quite the case. Northcote 216, Gardner a hard-hitting 64, Dowling a good player for Northcote 41, and Darren Walker continuing in his good form 3 for 48. And St Kilda at lunch, this is just a few moments ago, 3 for 53. So they're struggling against Northcote up there, a little bit in the pitch, and down at the Albert Ground, similar conditions down there. Melbourne all out for 191 yesterday. A top little innings there from Warren Ayres, 103, a player with a good potential. Peter King, 39 hard-hitting runs, and David Emerson, 4 for 80. And at lunch, Collingwood right in control of that game, 1 for 101. Our NEC award, this is the final day of this. It was completed last week. And what a turn-up. Melbourne just getting up by 1 point to knock off St Kilda, who headed the list all year, followed by Northcote, Essendon, Richmond and Collingwood on 72. So a great effort by Melbourne pulling off the NEC award. And it gives me a great deal of pleasure today to welcome in Doug Patrick from the Melbourne Cricket Club. Doug, welcome on, I suppose, a nostalgic day at World of Sport, but congratulations to the Melbourne Club on pulling off the NEC award.
Thank you very much, Keith. Yeah, I'm finding it very disconcerting in here with all these sporting legends and media people, but on behalf of Melbourne Cricket Club, I'm very grateful to NEC, and I'd just like to say how much we appreciate it and what good use it'll be put to. We've got a great tribute that should be paid this year to the Melbourne players and coaching staff. We got up and finished second. We're battling a bit in the semi at the moment, but you never know what will happen. We're still not beaten. And Robert Jamieson, who's assistant coach down there, he's worn out a video this year, so I'll put this one to great use.
Doug, just as a matter of interest, you to me seem to be the youngest guy I've ever seen on the Melbourne Cricket Club committee. Would that be the case?
Oh, I think I might scrape in there, Stacky, yes, but there's a great deal of work to go with it. It's a great club to be involved with, and I enjoy it very much.
Is this what the new approach to the MCC down there, get a few new younger fellas in?
Well, I don't know what Don Cordner and the senior people to say about that, but I'm doing my best to support them.
And what about the NEC Wood? Put it to good use down there?
We'll put it to very good use. Get a few faults. I think we've got a few faults this game. We'll try and iron them out for next year.
I know the NEC boys would have liked to have been in today to present it to you, but they're at a conference,
right.
And it certainly is a great unit. TV set plus the video stuff, so it'll be really a great prize for the fellas down there. Incidentally, it was a bit interesting last week. You fellas were behind all year. St Kilda declared if they'd have batted on and got another 20-odd runs, they would have won that unit.
Yeah, no, pity for St Kilda, but perhaps they'll get into the final, and that's the ultimate in district cricket, and perhaps Warren Whiteside might go well on the rider. I hope he does.
Yeah. All right, thanks very much, Doug, for coming in.
Thank you,
in
Keith.
Concluding, I'd just like to say a few words on behalf of all cricket followers in Victoria, and that is to thank World of Sport and Channel 7 for the tremendous support that they've given cricket over the years. Not so much Test cricket and Shield cricket, because that always stands on its own 2 feet, but it's the district cricket that World of Sport has really supported over the years. They've had running between the wicket competitions in here. They've had many other competitions, such as now we're down to the NEC Award, and fellows like Bill Johnston and Doug Ring that started it off in the old days, followed by Ian Mecca, Maxie Walker, Kenny Peace. It really has been great to be associated with the station for the last 3 or 4 months, and those fellows, they did a great job over those years, and I'm certain that World of Sport will be a little bit remiss for me not to say something, particularly in respect to district cricket. And thanks for all the support over the years, particularly to district cricket.
Why does Half Cost Kitchens and staff renovate more kitchens than any other company in Victoria? The answer is simple. What we offer is quality without the high price tag and a full professional service and backup. At last, there is a kitchen company that you can rely on. Our 18 different door styles of quality come to you factory direct, therefore no heavy middleman expenses. To have your new kitchen arranged, phone 813-2958. To have our designer bring our mobile showroom to you, or visit your nearest Half Cost Kitchens and staff showroom.
Here's a few famous footy names you'll see at Sportsgo this season. Adidas Record, now $45. Puma Mexico, now $65. Adidas Pro, now $90. Puma Brazil, now $35. Diodora Champion, now $80. And Adidas Hero, now $25. Sportsgo, famous names in sport.
There are many products on the market containing lecithin, but there is no product quite like Bure lecithin. Bure lecithin contains quantities of pure vegetable lecithin. If you're looking for a pure soybean lecithin, then try Bure lecithin, Dr. Bure's original formula from Germany.
Before you turn this key, remember, even with all its extra benefits, comprehensive cover through RACV car insurance can save you money. See how you can save. Turn to RACV Insurance.
Back to World of Sport, and if there's any one thing that has been synonymous with the program since its inception, has been the World of Sport panel. We've got a larger than usual panel this week for obvious reasons, but just let me move over here and introduce them to you. Louis Richards is with us once again. Great to welcome back Neil Roberts, Crackers Keenan, Kevin Bartlett, Jim Cleary. Welcome back, Jim.
Gentlemen, you really did.
Sam Newman, Bob Davis, who once again has neglected makeup, and Bruce Andrew. Bruce,
It's without makeup.
good to see you back again. Now, gentlemen, let's just toss.
Too busy with
No, it is not. Let's just toss the footy round and start off, I think, perhaps with Neil, because you must have some outstanding memories that you can tell the public about your involvement with the program.
Yeah, well, it has to be between 12 and 2 because I don't remember anything after 2 o'clock. But before we had the first can, there were some pretty memorable things happen here. I think probably the funniest thing I've ever seen was Skeeter actually tied for words. I mean, I'd never thought we'd see the professor just stuck for words. And of course, what sort of things do you want to sort of know about? I remember we raced mice down the cellar and got pinched in case he promised to keep.
Why did you run out and mark that ball in the champion kick?
Oh, I just couldn't help myself. And
Brownlow medalist, you know.
Bruce, yeah, but Bruce Andrews said, go and take one, you know, go and see if you can take a chest mark on your own. You know,
Casey was very happy about it.
Oh, yes. No, we've...
Listen, what did happen to that film that you took up?
Oh, hang on. We always have one. And look who's back. Do you want the Brownlow medalists together? Put your hands together. Let's welcome Bobby Skelton. Welcome, Bobby. Good to see you back, mate.
Nice
Good
to
to see you back. Now,
someone's got me leg.
What film?
The film you were sent up there to get at Sydney, they were playing a match there for World of Sport. You were away for 4 days. What did you do with it?
What, the film?
Yeah.
I don't remember having taken any film.
You didn't take it, you had to bring it back with you.
A bloke locked me up for trying to get over the
fence.
Get over the fence, and I got over and I ended up in a... Actually, I did end up at the police station. So it might still be there in a plastic bag.
Yes. Let's move along to Jim Cleary and Bruce, who's chatting away there with Bob. What are you two up to?
Well, Bruce Andrew at 10. And Jim, oh, yes.
Minus 10.
No, 10 and a half for you, Jim. Yours a gentleman, Jim.
Let's go back to those days when Case had you all well and truly under the thumb. Were you a difficult mob to control?
Never. No. Particularly Bruce and I. We were very easygoing, smooth. We approached the game as we played it, cleanly, and always with the object of getting the most.
Jim got rubbed out for 8 weeks for biffing a guy in a final. That's how clean he played the game.
Sandy, I'll just take that up with Lou, because this is possibly my last time I'll ever appear on television, and I'd like to say categorically and absolutely unbelievable, I will not accept anything else than that I was innocent in that 1945 bloodbath grand final. The whole thing has got up just to rate and bring my name down from Gentleman Jim to Larrikin Jim.
How many weeks
that is
did
not
you get,
right.
Jim?
Well, it worked, Jim. 8 weeks.
Oh, you got 8 weeks.
Yes, but in those days that was a very light sentence, Bob.
Oh.
I mean, they let me off because of my record. I'd been playing 12 years then. You know, and they said, well, look, you've been pretty fair. The first time you've ever come up before the tribunal. The first time you've ever been cautioned even. So we'll be lenient. We'll give you 8 weeks.
On that note, I think we'll take a break and be back with you gentlemen in just a moment.
I think, Case, that you and the station and all the men and women who are associated with this program are to be congratulated upon its excellence, its quality, the happiness, the enjoyment that you've given to so many people. I do congratulate you personally, and I think I speak for a lot of my fellow Australians in doing that.
Send this one, please, Trish.
Okay. Couriers are all pretty much the same. They all pick up and deliver.
Roger, front desk, please.
Pretty well everywhere. Express courier is just like other couriers, except that on most jobs they cost a little less. So, using Express Courier just once won't save you a fortune. But who uses a courier just once? Express Courier from Australia Post. We deliver.
And pick up and deliver and pick up and deliver and pick up and deliver.
This is Henry. Best idea this company's ever had. Even if he did try to weld the chairman's tie. But of course, not all new ideas are good ones. Now they're talking about putting our wages directly into our accounts. I can see problems. We all like cash. And who wants to spend their lunch hours waiting in a bank queue? The cash pay system is working perfectly well. Henry's on the blink again. Cash. It's the only thing you can count on.
With a custom card, you've got a permanent personal loan in your pocket. You can take advantage of sales.
The man has a custom card.
Get cash from the National Australia Bank.
Would 500 tide you over, sir?
Even pay for pools or renovations.
Handle this, Steve.
No worries, pal. Custom card, a permanent personal loan in your pocket.
Hurry to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get 10 pieces of chicken for just $9.50. Or 2 chicken fillet burgers for just $3.50.
The Monster Double Deal. It's enough to scare your pants off.
For once, Frederick, you're right.
Welcome back to the World of Sport panel, and just while that break was on, the boys were reminiscing about parties and what have you, and
a bit of material, actually, Sandy. Yeah, well, so one thing I think we should mention is Jack, you know, they say he failed plasticine and all that sort of thing, but one day I think he might have. We went to a party at Scooter's place after the show when we'd arranged that Scooter come on later on, you see, and he said, you can get in all right. The front door was locked, so we ended up down the sideway of the house. It was Jack anyway. And Jack found a knife, and he was going to, you know, how you get in a window with, in the old days in Richmond, they used to do it anyway.
Haven't done a lot of breaking and entering.
And Lou and I had found a panel open, and we were in the lounge room actually instructing Jack how to fix this window. And Lou's saying, just a bit to the left and a bit, and he's struggling away. 10 minutes it took him to realise that we were in the house and he was outside. He threw the knife a mile, but it was one of those. You had to be there, I think.
One of the funniest things, and I think Bob and the boys will agree with Jack Dye, when we first enlisted Kevin Sheedy to be on the program, and he wore a black and white tie. I think we were in the city square. And, of course, you knew how much Jack Dyer hated Collingwood. And I said, Jack, fancy a boy from Richmond, Punt Road, wearing a black and white tie. And Jack said, Sheeds, he said, I'm disgusted with you. He said, I won't even watch a black and white movie.
Gentlemen, I think while we've got our 3 senior members of days gone by that are rejoining us, Case, just come in for a moment, would you? I know you said you didn't want to. Come on.
Take your bio out, Case. Yeah, a bit of finger here.
Here you are.
Yeah, a little secret.
Grab that. Well,
Casey was finger flicking good.
I'm ready.
Finger flicking good.
I'm ready.
Why did you always ask him the questions and not me?
Because I was smarter than you, that's right.
He was He was closer to the microphone.
Yeah.
You be careful now, Neil. I'll tell a story about Sydney. Now behave yourself.
We've just said it, Case.
Yeah. Or the night we interviewed Carl Dippers.
Could I ask, hey, Case, could I get you to tell the story about Jack Dye when you sent the 3 telegrams over to him? Well, I think you should tell that.
Oh, well, in those days, Jack lived over in Richmond, and he didn't have the telephone on.
Well, he did. Was in a drawer.
It was in a drawer.
Unpaid for.
And he never told anybody he had the telephone. He said, I haven't got the phone on. So he used to have to say, if you wanted to talk to Jack, what you had to do was to send him a telegram. So Elaine, my secretary, sent a telegram one day, please call me, matter urgent. No response. Sent a second telegram, no response. I said, send an urgent telegram. Still no response. And eventually Elaine said, well, it's only over in Richmond, why don't you go over and see him yourself? So I go over, knock on the door, Jack opens the door, and I see on the shelf in the room telegrams. Unopened. I said, Jack, I've been sending you those. He said, oh. He said, never send me a telegram. He said, I don't open them because they might be bad news.
He was terrific with his car. He used to ring up and find out, ring the police and find out where it was the next day.
Oh, yeah, yes. Anyway, Bob, what do you think about World of Sport over the years?
Well, it's been a pleasure to be associated with it, Ron. I mean, it hasn't been a job, it's just been a delight to be, and when you finish with the football in the actual playing or the coaching, whatever it was, just to be associated with the fellas that have been here, to be associated with the footballers and to be associated with sport has been tremendous, and I think that probably we all owe you, you particularly, a tremendous debt.
Bruce, we were just talking the other day about, I mean, you've surrendered football and that for bowls, and you did that pretty well. But in the days when we had the champion kick and the handball championship, and I mean, you helped us so much devise the rules for those. How do you feel about football now that in those days they used to have to kick a drop kick, a punt kick, a stab kick, and then 2 kicks of their choice to score points? How do you reckon they'd score today?
Well, we hear so much today about the skills of the game. Now, the skills of Australian football are the kicking, the marking, the handball, and your general field play. The only one that's improved is handball, and to me that's ridiculous.
Well, in fairness, Bruce, you'd have to say that the way the boys today kick the ball, I mean, I know it's basically the same kick all the time, but they do it with such style and accuracy that you'd have to say that it's still pretty good.
No, I don't.
Don't you?
No.
Good on you, Bruce.
I'll tell you why.
I think they kick it too high.
I'll tell you why. There are too many receivers of the kick getting their head knocked off. There's too much negative defence play, and also there are far too many of those so-called kicks going direct into the arms of an opponent who is out by himself, standing out in the open.
So you say that they're not accurate enough?
They talk about, they're not accurate. They talk about it's a fast game and they're moving with such speed. You'll see them The ridiculous handball, you'll see a fella like Graham Fellows can kick 70 yards. He hands ball to Tony Shaw, who can kick 25 yards. And what does Tony do? Kicks it straight to the arms of an opponent. That's going on all day.
Bring it all back.
No, I'm sorry, Rod. It's not
John Newman. John, last night we saw 2 big ruckmen from the West Coast Eagles wearing big pads on their thighs. The commentators suggested that was for protection in the ruck duels. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think since they put the line across the circle, Ron, certainly one of these rules that Bruce would probably disagree with, saying it's come in. Just on that, I mean, I don't want to disagree with the people who've been in the game far longer than I, but I believe the game is better now than it's ever been. I mean, you've only got to watch a replay of a football game 20 years ago. I mean, the game has progressed in leaps and bounds. It's the rules and the administering of them and the nature of the game that is probably you've got to bring into line, but the skills of the game are unsurpassed. It is by far the most skillful ball game in the world, and that's second to none, bar none.
What about the thigh pack?
Who watches it, Sam?
Lots of people.
Well, who watches it? And who, did anyone have to ever get an advertising people to try and get people to the football?
Right, can we get a casting vote from Bob Skilton about that?
Well, I've got no doubt that the reason people say it's not as good as far as marking and everything is concerned is the greatest improvement in the game has been the skills in tackling and the defensive work. When players are that quick and that good with their tackling and so on, they haven't got time to steady up. The players can still do the drop kick, but they just haven't got time to be able to take that extra couple of steps and do it. If you watch them at training and everything else, they can do the drop kick just as well as the players of years ago, but it's the tackling that's brought about what people are saying is not good.
One more comment from Jim.
Just one little question, Bob. Can you tell me this, why a back pocket player or a rover can take the kick in after a behind is scored? This, to me, is absolutely unforgivable. I turn the television off when I see it. It goes 15 or 20 yards. The full-back, as you say, players like Rod Carter and these fellas can kick 70, 80 yards, and yet the back pocket player and rover picks it up and kicks it 15 yards.
You've got to have possession from the word go.
That one, Jim.
You can't.
No, unless that back pocket player is able to play straight on, there's no advantage.
No,
He just goes back.
not. That's the point.
Gentlemen, I'm afraid time is against us. It's a phrase you've come to know all too well over the years, but thank you one and all, from Case and myself and from everyone involved in the program, for your support and your help over the years. And, well, who knows, perhaps one day we might see the World of Sport panel back once again. In the meantime, we'll see you all at the footy.
In heaven. In heaven. We'll be very light.
When it's knock-off time for busy hands, it's time for lightning. With its new citrus formula, it lifts off dirt and grime in a flash, leaving your hands sparkling clean. Treat your hands to Lightning Hand Cleaner and you'll notice the difference straight away.
We should all be concerned about the future, because we will all have to spend the rest of our lives there. Capita, a dynamic investment and insurance group, and City Mutual's new name.
Tuesday night.
Well, she works 60 hours a week. I mean, how can I compete with the noble art of doctoring?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Can I see your licence?
And Supercop strikes again.
What is this? A meeting of the Ben Green Protection Society? Ben is a big boy. He's a pushover. Maybe he wants to be pushed.
I was wondering if you were free tonight.
Poor Ben. We can't let him do it.
The characters whose lives you love to share. A Country Practice, 7:30 Tuesday and Wednesday on 7.
During the week we've been trying to think of the best way of trying to show you the number of people that are involved with a program such as World of Sport and in fact what goes on. And we thought, well, how can we do it? Trying to put together all those people that do the wonderful work behind the scenes, those people in front of the camera, those people pushing the buttons, those people standing out in the rain on a wet Saturday afternoon behind the camera. Well, it can really all be summed up in this next segment. It's called the World of Sport Hit Parade.
Welcome to the world of sport, Hit Parade.
World of sport, world of sport. Join the happy viewers, the world of sport.
At 12 o'clock on Sundays, it's for me to open up a can and turn to HSV.
World of sport, world of sport.
There's really nothing like it, you'll agree. Ron Casey's in the driver's seat, the soccer's done by Fred, and Uncle Doug's there looking like an unmade bed.
World of sport, world of sport.
The racing and the woodshop you will see. I love the football panel cause they're always on the job. There's Jack and Lou and Bruce and Jim and Neil and Doug and Bob.
World of sport, world of sport. Each Sunday on HSV.
Pick me up on your way down when you're blue and all alone. When the glamour starts to bore you, come on back where you belong. You may be their pride and joy, but they'll find another toy. Then they'll take away your crown. Pick me up on your way down.
Bobby Skilton was his name. Bobby Dazzler was his game. Didn't want his name in lights. He never backed down from a fight. Schimmelbusch, Subaru, you are the hope of the white and blue. Schimmelbusch, flying high, you'll put the Roos in the final five. Schimmelbusch, Subaru, you are the hope of the white and blue.
The adventures of Ronald P. Casey, dinky die tales of a true blue boy. Come down from the bush, from Ararat, to team up with Lou, with Uncle and Jack. On Sundays compares everything that's crazy. Introducing Ronald P. Casey.
Cry and you've made us smile. You've hit the front, now it's all worthwhile. 'Cause there's one day in September we want to remember. There isn't any doubting we'll be in they go. On 7, your tennis lovers heaven, and tennis makes the world go.
I said, do you speak my language? He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. And he said, I come from a land down under. Lead us slow and mention her. Can you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover. Yeah.
Get 'em going crazy, show 'em your best. Get 'em going crazy, come on, you'll pass the test. All of Australia knows what you can do. Get 'em going crazy, now the future's with you. Every little thing she does is magic. Everything she does is turn me on. Even though my love before was tragic, never know my love for her goes on. Every little thing she does is magic. Everything she does just turn me on. Even though my love before was tragic, never know my love for her goes on. You'll be captain, you'll be coach, you'll be jazzer, you'll be roach, you'll be flying with the stars and in the war. 'Cause there's a little bit, there's a little bit, there's a little bit of Kazali in us all. 'Cause there's a little bit, there's a little bit, there's a little bit of Kazali in us all.
Always believe in your soul. You've got the power to know you're indestructible. Always believe in, 'cause you are gold.
I love it when you call me names. I love it when you call me names. I love it when you call me names. Darwin in the heat, or Melbourne's winter showers. It's pure Australian football. This mighty game is ours. From the towns up in the bush to the cities with the towers. It's pure Australian football. This mighty game is ours. Aussie skill and courage, Aussie strength and power. It's pure Australian football. This mighty game is ours. It's pure Australian football. This mighty game is ours.
The World of Sport Hit Parade, and really it's not until you see something like that that you begin to understand just how much work this station has done over the years for football and tennis and various other sports, but I'm sure without that promotion the games would not be what they are today. That just about takes us out for our final edition of World of Sport. We've always been a family show, so I see I have no plans of changing that today. I've got something here for one of our cameramen, whose name is Phil Bowler. He's been... Phil? 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 Can I just say, Phil, you picked a bloody awful day to have a birthday. But many happy returns, mate, and many more. There are so many people that we have to thank for this particular program, and I'd just like to run through a list, because if we gave credits we'd be here all the afternoon. But to our producers, to our directors, the floor managers involved, the cameramen, Phil's mates, to the tape editors, the operators, led by Billy Catmull, who's he has been Mr. Football of television for a number of years, to the audio operators, to our technical directors, to the Aston operators. Our production secretary, Sally Ricker, literally works her butt off, week in, week out. To our staging crew, led by Norm. Norm picked the wrong time to go on holidays. He went to Griffith 2 weeks ago and came back today. To Master Control, who've been of great assistance to us. To the OB boys, the boys that each Saturday and every day there's a football game, rain, hail or shine, They're out there at the grounds giving you the pictures. To our news crews that have worked overtime, and to the makeup department who have also worked overtime on a number of us. And so we come to the end of 28 years of family tradition. One era ends, hopefully another begins next week when Sports World takes to the air here in Melbourne. We need your support. We certainly hope that we shall have it. But for now, from everyone at World of Sport, goodbye.